companion. This is GhanaTalks Breakfast Show, your morning companion.
GhanaTalks Radio, the best station rocking the nation. Radio, number one.
It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show right here on GhanaTalks Radio. This is the first segment of the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We have Debbie's Grill, we have news review, and also Today in History with Miss Regina Bless. But we are going to be delving into the news items we have this morning. We are bringing you all the relevant stories making waves in the news, from business to politics, from sports to entertainment. We got you covered with the most relevant stories and informed perspectives on issues that matter to you every morning right here on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. I am your host, Ruth Esinam Fiagbadu, and I'll be doing this with Miss Regina Bless and Miss Debbie Adoso. We are streaming live on Facebook at GhanaTalks Radio, on YouTube at GhanaTalks Radio, and also on X at GhanaTalks Radio. Do all to send in your comments. We'll read them to you right here on the show. Good morning to you, ladies, and you are welcome to the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Miss Debbie.
This is GhanaTalks Radio, the best station rocking the nation.
See you. Miss Regina,
Yeah.
how are you doing too?
I'm good, your side.
I'm doing well. It's good to see you too. Right, we are going to be delving into the news items we have this morning. For our first story, it's actually coming from the NPP. Yesterday, they held a press conference, and you know that definitely they have something to say. So as part of the issues they said, we'll be looking at one of them this morning. Mahama NDC becoming intolerant, targeting critics with arrests. NPP. The New Patriotic Party is accusing President John Dramani Mahama and the ruling National Democratic Congress, NDC, of growing intolerance and targeting critics with arrest. The claim follows the arrest and remand of an MPP communications officer, Abubakar Yakubu, also known as Baba Amado, over allegations including offensive conduct and false publication. Speaking on the issue, NPP General Secretary Justin Kodria Frimpong said the current situation or the current administration is becoming intolerant of opposing views and criticism. He argued that Ghana is a constitutional democracy where freedom of expression must be protected, and accused the government of moving away from these principles. Mr. Kodria Frimpong also compared the situation to the previous administration under Nana Akufo-Addo, claiming it was more tolerant of criticism. According to the NPP, there is a growing trend of individuals being arrested or taken to court over comments made publicly, raising concerns about free speech in the country. Yeah. So I think in the previous days, we saw the arrest of Abronya as well. Abronya was also arrested. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yes. And we also saw the NPP communication officer, Abu Bakar Yakubu, who was also arrested for passing certain comments. And also the publication of, was it an AI-generated image of President John Dramani Mahama in wig? Let me say that they were mocking the president with LGBTQ, is a flyer or flag?
Oh, I didn't see that, but I saw some George
Yeah.
and Felix
Kwache. I think Bagman was also part of it, and Mama himself wearing wig.
Yeah.
Like, people are that creative, but you're not using it well.
Yeah,
Miss-
yeah.
Miss Regina, do you think that these actions actually count for the arrest of these people?
Okay, so I'd like to start my submission from this angle. Mahama and the NDC are not the ones arresting these people.
But it's who?
It is who? It is the law.
It is
It
the
is
law.
the right institutions.
Right.
The Ghana Police Service and other right security personnel are the ones arresting these individuals. If I sit here and I insult President John Dramani Mahama, I pass wrong or false information, Mahama would not come and arrest me. NDC would not come and arrest me. I think the cyber security authorities are the right people who would track me down and arrest me, not Mahama, not NDC. It is high time we start associating these political parties with people's wrongdoings or their arrests. It is high time we stop that, because it's getting out of hand. We've politicized everything to the point that even if someone is doing the wrong thing and automatically the person is being arrested or being reprimanded, we associate it with
It's fine.
we associate it with politics. This is not the first time Abronya is doing this. And he speaks with but he speaks with so much confidence. Like that power, it's like a power has been handed over to him to say that.
See, we have seen it.
And exactly. And you know the reason why he's doing that? He's doing that because he knows that at the end of the day, these MPP politicians would come out and bail him. Just recently, Afenyo Makin went out to bail him together with Baba Amando. He bailed them. As a leader, we understand you need to, your friend is saying, to support your people at all times. But you, the same leader, need to make sure that you discipline your people. Abronya doesn't respect the MPP. That he doesn't even respect the disciplinary committee of the MPP.
Go down there.
Because I remember a day where he was supposed to go before them. He snubbed them and used offensive language on them.
And he's arrested and people are still running.
Exactly.
Wow.
I wouldn't talk about the past administration, but we also what happened during the past administration, where civilians were arrested, were detained unlawfully, because according to the law, you can't detain someone over 24 hours without a fact or evidence. Everyone is entitled to bail, but these people were detained for over 2 weeks. And at the end of the day, be on no anu. Imagine a poor person fighting for his or her right, and you arrest the person for exercising that right that is in the 1992 Constitution. It is wrong. And during this administration, Mahama has specifically said that in as much as there is free speech, mind what you say. We will track you down and arrest you. And that is what they are doing. The law is no respecter of persons. In Ghana here, we always say the law favors the rich. Yes. But I thought that rich, no, it's a manager. You know that you can't buy your way out of that. We need to be careful with the utterances we speak out there. And the use of this AI items and contents is becoming too much. In Bofofano AI, they are utilizing it. They are using it to do your friends and beneficial things. But when it comes to Africa, especially Ghana, that is where they'll use AI to create Bawomiana, Nado, Mahama, Jenano, Pokwajima. They are dancing and twerking to songs. We are not saying don't have fun. Have fun. But sometimes you should know the limit you need to end. You should know the limit you need to go through. So arresting these individuals has nothing to do with Mahama, has nothing to do with the NDC. So I don't understand why the MPP are saying this and that. So we are the power, Metro.
Yeah, Metro. Miss Debbie, do you think that these actions are actually justified by law, or you think it's politically motivated?
No, I don't see it as being politically motivated. No, as Regina said, the law is taking its course. So when you're speaking ill of someone, I believe you should have an evidence to whatever you're saying, even if you're tarnishing the person's image, because the person can sue you for defamation. The person can sue you for talking ill about him or her without having vivid evidence that shows that is what you are saying. And my reason is why do the MPP feel the NDC is after them? They are the only ones complaining that they don't have freedom of speech and blah blah blah, and it was not the same during the MPP administration. I will say it is false. If you are talking about one of the governments we've experienced with free expression, you can speak like your mind without even feeling guilty of you saying something. That is if you know you say something bad. That is your case. I would say that it's with the NDC government, because the MPP government, you can't even speak. We saw instances where the media was being attacked. We saw instances where journalists were being beaten because they were speaking the truth. Are they trying to tell us that as at that time the MPP was not in Ghana, they were outside Ghana? No. No one is after you. As a politician, you should know that you are a leader. You don't just come out to talk. When we take Abronya, for instance, this man has been ranting all over on social media, and his party members are refusing to tell him the truth. They are refusing to tell him that what he is doing is wrong. You don't just stand up and then speak because you feel like you have the power, you have the authority. And that is what they do. They talk as if they are being given a space. They have Ghana under their care, so they can just stand up and say whatever you want to say. But it's not like that for me. I don't see it as politically motivated. What I see is that these same politicians, they are the one setting example for the youth. You stand up and then you speak to your fellow politicians as if he's your koiko. So what do you expect Ghanaians to do? You are teaching us to also be disrespectful to you. And then when that happens, you are calling it what? So for me, I don't see the NDC government going after anybody. The NDC government is not going after. You think President Mahama have the time? He has other things that he's paying attention to, not to be arresting people. What will he gain? But that is the law. The law states that you don't just stand up and then speak. Rabbi, see, the security personnel we have in Ghana here, they are very sensitive. Even if you're making a video, you're not careful, and then you mention something that is so shall I say something that is you are speaking, but then you mention of something that they feel needs more investigation, they'll pick you up. You don't just speak, though. Even if what you say you don't have any like you don't mean it, they will pick you up because yes, you need to be questioned. So it's not as if they are just picking you up, but because they feel that you've said something that needs to be interrogated, that needs to be investigated, so they'll pick you up. So you need to be careful. If you feel like you're a politician, you don't know when to talk, when to say this, and when not to say that, you will always be picked by the security person, and that does not mean that Mahama is after your life. You just need to be very cautious, and you need to think. Simple as ABC.
So how come we are not seeing the NDCs also being picked up? Because I believe they also pass hateful comments.
Have you seen an NDC communicator sitting somewhere and insulting people before? No, have you seen that before? Do you know sometimes it is the supporters that even do that? Not the party faithfuls themselves, or supporters. They are the one that fuel all this issue. So we saw instances where even supporters of the MPP were being arrested because they were passing false judgment. Can you just imagine that somebody sit down and then you are insulting your own president, insulting the wife of the president, a president that is nowhere near your class, and then you are insulting them? Was it, or which Tanzania? Is it Tanzania that they have a female president?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That arrested the TikTokers.
They were being what? They gave them a death sentence. A death sentence.
But was later withdrawn.
They beat them to the extent that they ensure, say, one of your joints is being dislocated. So you could see that when they were coming out from the vehicle, it's either your leg or your arm. So in some countries it's not allowed, but Ghana, who cares? We saw videos where President Mahama is dancing. I know he's surprised because but he just laughed over it because he knows he can't put an end to certain things. But you need to be cautious. I cannot just take my phone and start insulting my president. Say then why me? Someone like this, you will be picked up. So you just need to know that there are certain things you don't just you can say it in your room also be anti. But so long as you're putting camera on yourself, it means you are calling in people to come in and help you, and they will help you when you get to Insawom.
Yeah, similar. So this is from the minority, from the NPP. They are saying that the NDC government is becoming intolerant, just that they don't want to accept criticism. That is what they said. But do you think that looking at some of the comments they actually pass are just them criticizing the government, but actually deliberate false statement they actually pass? You can share with us in the comment section. You do well to read them. GIS to crack down on street begging on registered migrants in Accra. The Ghana Immigration Service has announced plans to carry out a special operation in Accra to address street begging and irregular migration. According to the service, the exercise will target selected areas in the Greater Accra region, although specific locations have not been disclosed for security reasons. The operation will focus on rescuing vulnerable people, especially children and individuals involved in street begging, who may be exposed to exploitation. At the same time, GIS says it will identify and apprehend unregistered migrants to ensure compliance with Ghana's immigration laws. The service explained that the exercise is part of its broader responsibility to protect public welfare, fight human trafficking, and maintain order in public spaces. The statement, signed by Deputy Commissioner Maud Anima, indicated that more details will be provided after the operation. I think this is not the first time we've actually seen this operation going on. And then if you go to the streets, the people are still there. So what is happening? What is the Ghana Immigration Service? What are they doing? Because if my memory serves me right, I think we were here somewhere last year when the Immigration and Service bus actually picked up a couple of people from the streets. I remember Kaneshi, Seko. Yeah. As to what they actually did with these people, I know they put them in a specific location, a camp to and prepared them for deportation. But if you go on our street again, these people are actually there. So what is happening? What is the issue? What is the problem? Ms. Debbie, this is not the first of its kind, and we've seen the people tripping in again.
For me, I feel like we are unserious as a country. I'm saying this because when we saw this whole thing being spearheaded by the interior minister, right, we were all happy. We were excited because it's very bad. You come to the capital town of Ghana and then you see beggars all over the street, and sometimes in a vehicle they come knocking on your door because they need money, and so it makes the whole city unattractive. You see them scattered all over the street and all that. And the same people have their own country. How did they get in here? I know some of them are being lured into, maybe you are getting you a job and all that. You get into the country and you realize that it's a scam. You don't even have the capacity to go back. So they have no option, but they are resorted to the street. What of Ghanaians who are also on the street and they have parents and siblings in other regions? You know, we have some street children on the street and they are Ghanaians. They have family, but they're on the street. So for me, we are serious because, see, if we are serious of getting these people out, we can do it. Our borders, that is why we have security personnel guarding our borders. So should we say that they are being paid? Or should we also tell ourselves that when the interior minister came out and then announced that these people will be sent back to their country, and we saw them being conveyed in a military bus, does it mean that they didn't send them away? Or they went to hide somewhere and then they are back? Because when that incident happened, a colleague of mine lives at Kaswa, so we were discussing about this whole issue, and she was like, oh, most of them did not go. So when it happened like that, they went hiding, and so like for 1 week or so they are not on the street. But after they realized that the issue was not that heated any longer, no one was talking about it, they are back on the street. So for me, we don't put so much effort into what we do. We will start with it, but at the end of the day we relax, and so these people feel like we are not serious.
Of course.
Imagine the laws, we are very strict with it. When we see you on the street, you'll be lashed or whatever, we bring out strict rules and all that, they will not come. You see this Niger's teenagers on the street, Nigerians, even Nigerian streets home where they start to say this Niger and this Fulanese. They've taken over the street, and most of these young teenagers, most of them are into prostitution, most of them are into robbery and all that, and that is why we see what we see. Sometimes when they arrest robbers, 3 Nigerians, 2 Nigerians, it means we are not doing something right, and that must be figured out. They are going to take them out. What I'm seeing now is bringing out a temporary solution. We should bring out a permanent solution. And then we know that when these people are being sent back, there is no way they are coming back into the country. How would they even stop it when we are receiving deported people into the country? We cannot stop it. So for me, we are serious.
Right, I'm
so
sure.
We get serious.
Yeah, I'm very sure that the migrants that actually heard this news are like, Dadana.
No, Dadana.
Dadana. We've seen it happen before. They didn't do anything about it. They are coming to do it again.
Yeah.
What different thing are they coming to do now? They are coming to pick us on the streets, go and put us in a camp. They will come and tell us that they will deport you people. Miss Regina.
So as we are all agreeing on Dadana, because we've seen it before, I think that was last year where some of these individuals were arrested, detained, and at the end of the day they would be deported back to their homeland. And I think we didn't hear anything again as to whether they were deported or not. But few months where a moment later, we saw them on the street again. This morning when I was coming, I was pondering over it. I was like, the same way we find it difficult to move into other countries, it's not the same way for Ghana as a country. It looks like people find it very, very, very easy to move into our country. I don't know if it's due to the borders, because I believe if we have stronger security at our borders, it would be difficult for people to come through. Because mind you, these people sometimes pass through illegal routes to make sure that they come into a country. So I don't know if it's probably weaker enforcement to make sure that securities at the borders are very tight, or probably it's negligence on the aspect of the government. So I think they really need to look into it, because the same way we find it difficult to either go to USA, Canada, Europe, any of these countries, you have to go through a whole lot of stress before you can get to that country.
Have you seen how Ken of Oriata is?
Exactly. So why don't we find why don't other people find it the same, regardless of who you are, either Nigeria, either Togo, either Burkina Faso? You need to go through the stress, go through all the legal process, make sure that your papers are intact before you come into the country. But Ghana, no.
It doesn't work.
Oh, hospitable people.
Hospitable
people, so they just open their hands wide and everybody will enter.
We are just hoping that we see something different and we see a better results with this crackdown they are about to embark on. Now, to the issue of the OSP. High Court rules OSP cannot independently prosecute cases. An Accra High Court has ruled that the OSP, or the Office of the Special Prosecutor, does not have the power to independently prosecute criminal cases. According to the court, all cases handled by the OSP must be referred to the Attorney General's Department, which holds the constitutional authority to prosecute. The ruling was delivered by Justice John Eugene Nyandu, who explained that while the OSP can investigate corruption cases, it cannot on its own take them to court. The decision is based on Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, which gives prosecutorial powers to the Attorney General. This development has created uncertainty around ongoing cases being handled by the OSP, as they may now be put on hold until further legal direction is given. The case was brought by Peter Hyde, who challenged the legal authority of the OSP to prosecute. In response, the OSP has rejected the ruling, arguing that the High Court does not have the authority to declare part of a constitution of a law unconstitutional, insisting that only the Supreme Court can do that. The anti-corruption body says it is taking steps to challenge the decision. The ruling also adds to an ongoing case at the Supreme Court, where the broader legality of the OSP prosecutorial powers is already under review. OSP, OSP, OSP. We actually knew that the OSP has the power or the authority to prosecute people or corruption cases. But after this whole back and forth, and after hearing from the High Court, it happens that that is not the case. The OSP doesn't have the independent power to actually prosecute cases. The OSP says he's not going to accept this ruling because the High Court does not have the jurisdiction to make such pronouncements. It's going to be interesting, very interesting in these coming days. Ms. Debbie, what are your initial thoughts on this particular issue?
For me, I feel like the OSP is not independent. I feel like the office of the OSP is being intruded. Because when you look at what the law states, in a way, yes, the OSP can prosecute, but on specific cases. But the sole responsibility of the OSP is to investigate corruption-related cases. So it has to do with retrieving your property or some offenses or criminal cases. The OSP has the right to prosecute you, but as I said, not in all cases. Now when you look at what is happening, the Attorney General is claiming that the OSP has no power at all to prosecute. Now we know that the OSP work hand in hand with the Attorney General.
With the Attorney General.
So what the OSP does is you investigate thorough into a particular case, the proceedings and everything is intact, you get the evidence, and then you push it to the Attorney General, and then the Attorney General takes it from there. But right now, the Attorney General is making it known that he has the sole authority to do that. So if that is the case, then why not we just leave everything to the Attorney General and scrap the office of the Special Prosecutor?
But do you think it will work? It will work with the Attorney General working independently and without political interference?
That would be very difficult. Even with the OSP that is supposed to work independently is being interfered. Then what of the Attorney General who is being appointed by a government, a president? Because mind you, every government that will come on board will also appoint each Attorney General.
Yes.
For me, I feel like when it has to do with things with the law, security forces and all that, it shouldn't come with an appointment. Because all these offices are supposed to work independently. Now this morning, I was telling Regina while we were discussing the same issue that Member of Parliament for Medina, Sosu Xavier, was saying something. He said if this whole issue should go against the OSP, then he's scared that we might not be able to solve corruption related cases, and then it means that the future of Ghana is at stake. Because this has really brought my attention to something that you see since the inception of the office of the Special Prosecutor. Kisie Jabin has been making claims that he doesn't get himself to work as an OSP. His office has been intruded by politicians, and it's true. So imagine somebody who is supposed to work independently, and now this person is working with an appointee that was appointed by a government. And for me, I see the Attorney General as someone who is not ready to work independently. I feel like the Attorney General is being rude. Because tell me why, as an Attorney General, if I'm supposed to work with someone, say I'm supposed to work with Regina to bring out a fruitful result, then at the end of the day, I'm backing you, who is now a threat to Regina, who is the OSP. What am I trying to insinuate?
But you are supposed to be in it together.
Yes, so in a way, I'm trying to say that OSP no nim nejumao. So I'm now telling you what to do. So this thing, OSP versus Attorney General versus the person who brought this whole issue up, it's for me, it's a whole disaster. And if care is not taken, if this issue is not being taken with some form of caution, then I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared because even as it stands now, we have the OSP, we have the Attorney General, we are not seeing anything. Even the Attorney General that some time ago we said was better off than the OSP. Catch me. How many people was he able to prosecute? 0. 1 minus 1 equals 0. That is what we saw. And I don't know how true is this, but then some grassroots of the NDC said they are going to protest against the Attorney General. The removal of the AG.
Your own person.
Yes. I don't know how true is it.
We'll go.
But I was trying to argue with the person, and then the person said they voted for you. And one of the main reasons why they voted for you is because they felt like they've been cheated. They felt like some people are stolen from the state. And so they have this iota of trust in you that you're coming in and you're going to arrest these people and retrieve those money. Now they've appointed the right bodies and they are not working. So automatically you are making it look as if the promise you've made, you are not fulfilling it. Which means that your chances of coming back to power in 2028 is slim.
It's slim.
The president cannot do it alone. He has other arms. So if these arms are not helping him, then what is the essence? For me, if we feel like this is not going to help, we should scrap them all. We should scrap the OSP.
The OSP.
Because you cannot appoint me to work, and at the end of the day, you are still telling me what to do.
So what if
like
they,
how?
what if they amend the constitution to make it better, to be in so that they can give the OSP the independent prosecutorial power to prosecute cases? What if they amend the constitution?
When they review it. Oh yes, when they review it to that extent, it's good because, as I said, the OSP has the power to prosecute, but not in all cases. It comes with specific cases. So 99% of the power has been vested to the Attorney General. So if that is the case, then it's either we review it and then give 50-50 to these people, which means that the OSP can investigate and also prosecute. The Attorney General can also investigate and also prosecute. But my case is, what if they are conflicting? What is it's happening in a way that they are both conflicting each other?
How would they conflict?
So the OSP will have to investigate and prosecute. For the Attorney General, they prosecute. So if we want to look at this world, then it means that we have to share between them. If the OSP should prosecute, then in a way the Attorney General is also supposed to take a percentage of what the OSP is doing.
So the Attorney General, I don't think the Attorney General is actually a legal advisor to the president.
To the president.
And the OSP's main responsibility or role is to investigate political officers who are involved in corruption, but the Attorney General doesn't. So that is the difference between the
two of them. But what I'm saying is that if we are supposed to review this and then we're supposed to give 50% veto power to the OSP, then it means we need to share between the two. And if that will also be a case, then I feel like we should scrap one and maintain one.
Right, Miss Regina, what do you have to say?
Okay. So I think this is becoming too much when it comes to the Attorney General and the OSP. So under the legal basis of Article 88 of the Constitution,
the 1991,
the Attorney General, he's the principal legal advisor, represents the state, initiates and conducts criminal prosecution, drafts and reviews law, oversees the administration of justice. And also with the OSP, under his own constitution, that is the legal basis established under the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017-959. The OSP can prosecute corruption cases under his own law, and I believe he did not set the law himself. Probably or definitely, together with parliaments and debating on the issue, they would set that law for the institution. So I don't really understand what is going on between these two people. And also, I did another research. According to Article 88, Section 5 of the Constitution, the power of the Attorney General to prosecute cases may be exercised by other persons acting under his or her general or special instructions, and that has to do with the OSP. And as Debbie is saying, automatically OSP is not an independent body again. If this is what they are saying, the OSP is not an independent body. And to cut this issue short is to make sure that they review the Constitution. Either make sure that the Attorney General is operating independently on its own, and the OSP also, they would set up a rule that would also give him the right to prosecute cases based on what he is doing. Because his office is to investigate corrupted related activities, and at the end of the day, he can't make an investigation. Now at time docket no, Akwa Attorney General say, this is the investigations I've done so far, and this is what we want to do. So give us the go ahead to prosecute the case. So it means if he doesn't give the go ahead, automatically the investigation are rubbish. It doesn't make sense. But per the legal basis of the OSP, his office has the right to prosecute their own case. So without the authorization of the Attorney General. But under the 1992 Constitution, the Attorney General has given the right to other bodies.
So automatically
the
OSP is covered.
Exactly. So with this issue, the back and forth is becoming too much. The only simple issue is to review the Constitution and give the right to the right people. Do this, you do that. Make sure you don't interfere. Simple. And everyone will be good to go.
So on the issue of the OSP, we'll be looking more into it in the second segment. So make sure you don't miss it. This is where we draw the curtains for the news review. Up next, we have Today in History with Miss Regina Bless.
Bringing you today in history on this day, 2007. 23-year-old student Xian Hui Shu killed 32 people, 27 students and 5 faculty members, and injured 17 others at Virginia Tech in Blacksburg, Virginia. The shooter, who had the history of mental health issues, died by suicide, bringing the total death to 33 in what was at the time the deadliest shooting in U.S. history. 2003, Michael Jordan played his final NBA game on this day at age 40 as a member of the Washington Wizards during his final 2002-2003 season. He remarkably played in all 82 games, averaging 20 points per game. His last game was against the Philadelphia 76, where he received the standing ovation. 1889, legendary filmmaker and actor Charlie Chaplin was born on this day in London, England. As a pioneering figure in early Hollywood and a beloved star of the silent film era, he is best known for his iconic Trump character and his work in over 85 films and shorts. To some global observances, Get to Know Your Customer Day, designed for businesses to reach out and better understand their client needs, preferences, and experiences. It focuses on building relationships, increasing retention, and fostering a customer-centric culture rather than just driving sales. National High Five Day, to promote positivity, encouragement, and fun, with the 2026 observation falling on this day. This day encourages high-fiving others to celebrate small victories, boost morale, and support charitable causes. World Voice Day serves as an education campaign to inform the public of the importance of the human voice and the need for preventative care. Lastly, National Stress Awareness Day aims to increase awareness about the dangers of stress and promote management techniques. It highlights mental health, reduces stigma, and offers tools to handle personal and workplace stress, focusing on self-care, communication, and healthier habits. And that's all for today on Today in History and some global observances, live on GhanaTalks Breakfast Show.
Thank you so much, Miss Regina Bless, for Today in History and some observances of the day. Do well to manage your stress. Up next, we have Debbie's Grill.
Welcome to Debbie's Grill, where we talk about issues that concern the state, void of politics, fear of favor. The Executive Director of the Center for Democratic Development Ghana, CDD Ghana, Professor Harry Kwesi Prempeh, has urged the OSP not to resign following the stripping of prosecutorial powers of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. In a post shared on Facebook, the CDD boss, who carried the Constitution Review Committee set up by President John Dramani Mahama, advised Kisi Ejabe not to fight the ruling of the High Court. He told him to stay quiet and draw his salary, since he now has no power to prosecute cases his office is investigating. Mr. Special Prosecutor, please don't appeal and don't resign. Don't even fight it in the media. Relax. You and your staff should just sit tight and collect your pay and perks and spend your budget as planned. That to count as public service. Don't kill yourself over this. Country broke or country no broke, we all day inside, of course, the CDD boss wrote. Before the ruling, Professor Prempeh called out the Supreme Court and the Office of the Attorney General over its handling of a suit filed against the OSP by Noah Tete. In a post shared on Facebook on 9th April, CDD Ghana boss was dumbfounded that the apex court of the land did not allow the OSP to file a defense in the matter. He indicated that it was wrong for the court to allow the Attorney General's office represent the OSP in the matter because Attorney General's office is on the side of the plaintiff. The Deputy Attorney General and Minister of Justice had filed proposed argument asking the Supreme Court to declare Section 4, Clause 2 of the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 959, unconstitutional, and to strike it down to the extent of its unconstitutionality. Section 4 and 2 of the Act requires the Attorney General to authorize the Special Prosecutor to initiate and conduct prosecutions of corruption and related offences. For the sake of time, let's look at this also. Okay, so prosecutorial power in Ghana is the legal authority to start, conduct, discontinue criminal cases and court on behalf of the state. Now, when we talk about who holds the power, let's take the Attorney General as the first person. So, when you're talking about someone who holds more power when it comes to prosecution is the Attorney General. Now, Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution makes it clear that Article 88, Clause 3 says the Attorney General shall be responsible for the initiation and conduct of all prosecutions of criminal cases. Clause 4 of Article 88 says all offences prosecuted in the name of the Republic of Ghana shall be at the suit of the Attorney General or any person authorized by him in accordance with the law. Clause 1 of Article 88 says the Attorney General is the principal legal advisor to the government. So constitutionally, all criminal prosecution belongs to the Attorney General. He can delegate power to others in accordance with the law, like state attorneys, police prosecutors, and specialized agencies. So when you're talking about prosecutorial powers, it includes their Attorney General. This is with the Attorney General. So he has the power to initiate, that is, decide to file charges and start a criminal case, conduct in leading the case in court, calling on witnesses, presenting evidence, and making submission. He also has the right to discontinue, and that has to do with the nollie prosecutor to stop a case at any time before judgment, to also plead bargain, negotiate with accused persons for reduced charges, to control delegations, decide who else can prosecute on their behalf. So these last two tools, that is the nollie prosecutor and plea bargaining, are exclusively for the Attorney General and how he controls the prosecution. Now, when we come to, aside the Attorney General, who else exercises the prosecutorial powers? We have the police prosecutors. Then we come to the Office of the Special Prosecutor. Now, under the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Act 2017, Act 959, authorized by the Attorney General to initiate and conduct the prosecution of corruption and corruption-related offences. So the OSP is unique because Act 959 gave it direct powers to investigate and to prosecute without referring docket to the Attorney General on specific cases. And that is why there is a current Supreme Court case arguing this donation of power. All prosecutions are in the name of the public, brought as the public versus the accused. Now, the Attorney General has final control. He can take over and stop any case, even though started by authorized persons. Private prosecution that has to do with a private person can also start a criminal case only with Attorney General's concern. So the constitutional power to put someone on trial for a crime in Ghana, it's vested in the Attorney General, but he can lawfully authorize agencies like the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the police to use it for specific offenses. So before we bring a tough say, with all that I've read, let me just summarize everything. The Attorney General has 99.9% of power vested in him to prosecute criminal cases and all cases. But when you take the office of the special prosecutor, the office of the special prosecutor has like 5% power to prosecute cases, and that has to do with even specific cases. So when you take these two offices together, the Attorney General have more powers than the OSP. Now the OSP will investigate criminal cases. The OSP will ensure that he gets evidence on that. The OSP will ensure that he gets all the facts and everything correct. And then after he is done, he refer it to the office of the Attorney General. Now in a case where the OSC is supposed to prosecute, then it means that the Attorney General has vested part of his power to the OSP, and that has to do with 5%. Now the main reason why this whole issue has become something sort of a debate is that the Attorney General works with the OSP. So in a way they work hand in hand. So it's like Part A will go in, do the work, bring out the evidence, bring out the names of the people involved and everything, and then he hands it over to the next party. And the next party goes through it and also does what? If the person is found guilty, you will be prosecuted. If the person is not found guilty and the Attorney General feels like he needs to discontinue the case, he has the authority to do so. If the OSP feel like no, there has to be a bargain on this particular issue, he has the authority to do so. But the main problem is the case in court as it stands now, fighting against the OSP. The case with the person who filed that case is being backed by the Attorney General. Now, so it looks like someone you are working hand in hand in is now backing the plaintiff and not the other hand or the other arm of which he is working with. And that is why this whole case has become something very vicious. And if proper care is not taken, this is going to get out of hand. The office of the special prosecutor was set because we need to investigate corrupt and corruption related cases, corrupt public officials. You can't tell me that there will be a government in power and then we will have public officials that are sent enough and they wouldn't steal from the state. Because tell me why each and every second, the country is running at loss. And then we don't see people who are causing that loss. But we have humans in power. And so the OSP is supposed to take that course. You've taken what does not belong to you. So he will go after you, do the necessary checkups, and then bring out with vivid evidence against you. But as it stands now, the office of the special prosecutor, for me, feels like it's being intruded. The office of the special prosecutor is no longer independent. And just as I've read, now people are calling on the OSP not to resign, you should relax and all that. And from the onset, we saw instances where the OSP was complaining that his office is being intruded, he's not allowed to do the right thing. We also saw instances where legal practitioners and the person of Martin Kpebu was calling for the resignation of the OSP, and the president has to step in. So if we have an office that is supposed to be independent, and that office is not being independent, why is it not being independent? Because if it is not so, then it means the OSP cannot achieve its goal. And with the Attorney General also backing the plaintiff, does not really sound well or sit well. Now, what they are doing is that they want to scrap the OSP of its powers. Yes, we know that the Attorney General has the sole power, everything to prosecute. That is right. But I feel like issues like this, since you are working hand in hand with the person, at least there should be some backyard conversation between the two people. So if these two offices that are supposed to work hand in hand and ensure that these corrupt peoples or officials are brought to book are now having clashes with each other, then it means that the future is at stake. It means we cannot even prosecute, because as it stands now, you prosecute your BI with the gray of the Attorney General, you prosecute your BI, and so with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. And if these two bodies, as I said, are supposed to work to ensure that the right thing is being done, are now fighting each other, then we are doomed. The right thing should be done, and it should be done now. Thank you for making time with me on Debbie's Grill.
Thank you so much, Miss Debbie, for that girl. On the issue of the OSP, we'll be looking more into it in the second segment. Do well to stay with us. Thank you so much for joining us on the first segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be going for the news shortly, and right after the news, we'll be back with the second segment. Please, they can stay with us.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
We bring you local news, business news, international, sports, and entertainment news. Right here on GTR.
It's 8 o'clock. Welcome to the morning news update on Ghana Talks Radio. Coming up, Vice President tasked Ghanaians diplomat to ensure mutually beneficial economic diplomacy. Minister of Education inaugurates a committee to oversee new public universities. In related news, the new public universities is to expand access to higher education. Student Loan Trust Fund begin disbursement of academic fees to 10,000 university students under no fees stress policy. Also coming up in the news, Drivers and Vehicle Licensing Authority dismiss report by National Road Safety Authority as false concern on Voxy vehicles. These and many more coming up your way shortly. To our first story, Vice President Nana Opoku Agyeman has urged Ghanaian diplomats to ensure economic diplomacy yields mutual benefit to Ghana and its international partners. Speaking to members of the diplomatic corps, the Vice President said foreign engagement must move beyond ceremonial ties to concrete results in trade, investment, technology transfer, and employment.
The foreign affairs in AFTA, the African Free Continental Trade Area. It may look, but trade is also as an important part of your responsibility. How do you promote this through all the agencies and the directorates that you have? And I know that there's so much more that you can do in order to ensure that our investments are also going far. And I use, something I've said, at the risk of repeating myself. A lot of these embassies have been in Ghana for as long as we have been with them. Can we honestly say that whatever they have taken from Ghana is what we have? How many Ghanaian businesses do we have in those countries? And why is that the case? So what KPIs do they carry and which ones are we not carrying? So I was very, very happy to be part of that discussion about the KPIs. And so those of us in country, we also have a role to play to support those who are outside of the country, to ensure that our businesses are also thriving in other countries away from Ghana, just as other people's businesses also thrive in Ghana.
The Minister of Education has inaugurated a committee to oversee the establishment of new public universities. The committee is tasked with guiding government on the creation of additional public universities. The move forms part of government's broader agenda to reduce admission pressure on existing public universities in underdeserved communities.
Let's say John Dramani Mahama. Higher education remains a critical public good and a critical public need, because there are many young people in Ghana who are still having difficulty in accessing quality higher education across the country. So at the request of Her Excellency the Vice President, the President requested that we put this committee together to advise government on the establishment of new public universities in Ghana. So your recommendations, when you so submit to Excellency John Dramani Mahama as part of his research for higher education, I'm sure we'll go through cabinet and go through parliament. The thrust of your work, apart from inclusivity, ensuring presence, that every region of Ghana is a desire and vision of the President should have a university of its own in order to expand this access. But the primary focus of the committee in the establishment of the universities should be guided by three important values. Higher education, how does it contribute to deepening research and innovation, apart from just merely expanding access? And two, how does higher education respond to the contemporary needs of our country, in particular its manpower needs and manpower requirements, and focus for the future human resource training and development of the country. The other will be the relationship between training, skills development, and academic development, and industry, commerce, and the private sector relevance. How do we make higher education increasingly responsive and relevant to our national development priority needs as a country? And we all know what higher education has done and will do in Ghana's quest to achieve sustainable, meaningful development. I will guess an attempt at some of the thinking of government, but it's subject to your guidance and decision. For instance, in the Oti region, inclusivity.
In similar development, the chair of the committee overseeing the establishment of new public institutions, former Minister of Education Christina Mwakon, has described the initiative as a timely intervention to enhance access to higher education. Speaking after the committee's inauguration, Professor Mwakon said the creation of additional public universities is critical to addressing admission pressure. According to her, the demand for tertiary education continues to outstrip available spaces. The new universities are to bridge regional gaps in access.
The mandate entrusted to this committee, which is to expand access to higher education through the establishment of new public universities, the completion of ongoing projects, and the strategic expansion of existing tertiary institutions, is both ambitious but timely. It reflects the NDC government's firm commitment to equity, inclusiveness, and national development. We are fully cognizant of the magnitude of the task before us. The overall goal to establish at least one public university in each region, the completion of key projects across the country, and the strengthening of existing tertiary institutions will require careful planning, technical expertise, and prudent stewardship of resources. We are also mindful that the success of this initiative will not be measured solely by the number of institutions established, but by their quality, relevance, and sustainability. It is imperative that these institutions are aligned with national priorities, particularly in science, technology, agriculture, and entrepreneurship, and that they are equipped to contribute meaningfully to Ghana's socio-economic development.
The Student Loan Trust Fund has commenced the disbursement of academic fees to 10,000 students in public universities and the government no free stress policy. The Chief Executive Officer of the Student Loan Trust Fund disclosed that the fund has credited the account of 40,000 students in colleges of education, agriculture and health training institutions across the country. With the latest batch of 10,000 students, total beneficiaries are expected to reach 50,000. According to Shiraz, the fund is working with the Ministry of Education and heads of institutions to complete payments for all eligible students.
We are doing very, very, very well, I'm happy to say. So later today we'll put out a press release. We've started disbursements for no fee stress for the 2025-2026 academic year. This year we have a hybrid disbursement model, and by that I mean that we have piloted a direct to institutions disbursements to some select institutions, which are the colleges of education, colleges of agric, and health training institutions. So as at now, we've paid more than 40,000 students. We've paid the academic fee support directly to those tertiary institutions. And today we will commence reimbursements with an initial batch of 10,000 students to students in public universities and public tertiary institutions, which means that by the close of today, I can report that we would have made academic fee payments for the 2025-2026 academic year up to about 50,000 students. Of course, as we are celebrating SLTFR 20, we don't want the celebration to let us lose track of our core mandate of making education more accessible to tertiary institutions. So we are still very in tune with what our business is, which is to make education accessible and remove financial barriers to accessing tertiary education for Ghanaian students.
The Chief Executive Officer of Drivers and Vehicle Licensing Authority, Julius Nikwe Kote, says no decision has been taken on the Voxy vehicle concern raised by National Road Safety Authority. Speaking in response to recent media report, he explained that authority is yet to meet the National Road Safety Authority to deliberate on findings of the committee set up to review concerns surrounding the use of Toyota Voxy vehicles for commercial transport. Mr. Kote assured the public of Driver and Vehicle Licensing Authority commitment to road safety.
Is that a committee was set. The committee has presented its findings. We have not started to make any decision as of today. So I don't know where the speculations are coming from. But until we sit as a committee with the National Road Safety Authority, DVLA, and other stakeholders, the Ministry of Transport, to make any public pronouncement, all other rumors should not hold. We've received the committee's report. We have not started to make any decision. When we make any decision, we'll surely organize a press conference and brief the public. So that is it as of now. That is my.
Member of the new Patriotic Party communication team member, Aaron Asiedu, has expressed concern over the introduction of artificial intelligence in Ghana sport. In an interview, he clarified that the deployment of AI system is not an indictment of port operations, but increased port charges under the new publican system as troubling. According to him, importers pay higher duties due to new evaluation with the cost transferred down supply chain, reflecting in the market price. He urged government and port authorities to engage stakeholders in ensuring that the artificial intelligence system enhances efficiency.
I have a big issue when we center the conversation that freight forwarders are deliberately cheating the state. And the argument over here is that issues with ports and people cutting corners has been around. I'm not discounting it. It is there. The genuine concern that has been raised by the AI, and indeed, I agree with Solo, we all need the AI because we are transitioning from the manual world to the digital world. And so introduction of AI itself is not an indictment on anyone. It is only to help with efficiency. But where the law, considering the WTO laws and all the international laws, has been incorporated into our laws, and Section 68 of the Customs Act tells you that use transactional value, and you are using market value as the AI, you listen to Solo what he said, then it will create discrepancy. I am concerned as a Ghanaian because if these importers pay high duties at the port, they transfer the cost to me, an innocent boy, and an innocent teacher who has not been paid for about 15 months. Because of this government, he must pay for that. Such a person, those who were sacked by Julius Debra will be paying the same thing. And the sad thing is that if you have the GRA commissioner writing this, telling us that the custom officer, in fact, if I may read, it says officers are not permitted to finalize any evaluation. So what I'm saying is that you must, in fact, what he says, let me even land on the Commissioner General. He says that if you are a custom officer, you must resort to the publican AI before you make your conclusion. Where you are having two figures, go for the higher one, whether it is the AI or the manual one. My argument over here is that Section 68 does not permit you to even move ahead to get two figures. Use the transactional value, stop using the market value, because if these importers finally pay it, they are going to transfer it to a poor teacher like Anne-Marie from a Quincy and Yafu mine, who stays at a Quincy but teaches at Yafu mine and has not been paid for 15 months. And again, this same government is saying that that person should not even demonstrate.
In business, construction input costs in Ghana remains subdued in March 2026, even as overall producer inflation edged slightly higher. Latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service has shown producer inflation in the construction slowed to 0.3% year-on-year, down marginally from 0.4% in February, underscoring relatively stable cost conditions for contractors and developers. On a monthly basis, construction prices increased by 0.1%, pointing to minimal short-term costs across the sector. However, the broader producer price environment showed a modest uptick. Overall producer inflation rose to 1.5% in March from 1.4% in February, while month-on-month inflation stood at 0.7%. Within the construction sector, trends were mixed. Specialized construction activities and civil engineering posted moderate price increases, but this was offset by a sharp decline in building construction, suggesting softer demand and intensified competition in that segment. Across the wider economy, price pressures remained uneven. Utilities, particularly electricity and gas, continued to record strong inflation, while manufacturing prices remained in negative territory, though improving from previous months. For businesses, the relatively low construction inflation may help keep project costs stable in the near term, but the quick uptake in monthly producer prices suggests that cost pressures could gradually build if the trend persists. To sports, police have arrested a suspected gang leader and one other person in connection with a robbery attack that led to the death of Brekum Chelsea footballer Dominic Frimpong. Frimpong died from gunshot wounds after armed robbers attacked the club's team bats on the night of April 12. The incident occurred along the Kwame Drummond Sirasu Road while the team was returning to Brekum from a league fixture in Seremboai. According to police sources, the two suspects were arrested following an exchange of gunfire with officers. The alleged gang leader sustained injuries during the operation and was subsequently transported to the hospital for treatment. Sources said the suspect has since admitted involvement in the robbery. The attack, which claimed the life of the 20-year-old player, sparked widespread condemnation and renewed concern about safety of teams traveling for domestic league matches. In the aftermath, the Ghana Police Service launched a manhunt for perpetrators, while football authorities and clubs called for tighter security measures for team movement. Investigations are in progress as police work to identify and apprehend other members of the suspected robbery gang. In showbiz, Guinness Ghana has announced a major new investment in the country's music industry, unveiling an enhanced annual prize package for Album of the Year category at the Talisol Ghana Music Awards. In a statement issued on Wednesday, April 15th, Guinness said beginning with the 27th edition of the awards in 2026, the winner of the converted category will receive a cash prize of 100,000. In addition, the artists will benefit from support towards the production of a music video for their next project, as well as curated business intelligence provided by Guinness Ghana to help shape their commercial and creative direction. By extending its involvement beyond the award ceremony, the company aimed to provide sustained value for artists and strengthen the wider creative industry. Ya Amwausu, head of media and partnership at Guinness Ghana, highlighted the significance of the category, describing it as a defining measure of artistic depth and originality. As a long-standing partner of Talisol Ghana Music Awards, Guinness Ghana's latest intervention further elevates the importance of EP of the Year category. It also reinforces company's broader commitment to supporting Ghana's creative industries. Beyond the financial reward, prize package includes a listening experience component designed to create new opportunities for audience engagement, industry networking, and increased visibility for the winner's subsequent project. This holistic approach is expected to equip artists with both the resources and exposure needed to thrive in an increasingly competitive global music landscape. The nominees for the category reflect the diversity and vibrancy of Ghana's contemporary music scene. They include Black Sherif with Iron Boy, Stone Boy, Jackie with After Midnight, Medical with Disturbation II, Wendy Shea with Ready, and Kweku Smoke with Walk With Me. Reacting to the development, Robert Clark, head of public events and communications at Charterhouse Production, organizers of the awards, described the initiative as both timely and impactful. He noted that it aligns with Charterhouse mission to celebrate and elevate Ghanaian music while providing tangible support to artists. The 27th Teleso Ghana Music Award is slated for May 9, 2026. On global update, the city of Rabat is set to host a major global cultural celebration following its designation as UNESCO World Book Capital for 2026. The program, which begins on April 24th, will run alongside the 31st edition of the International Publishing and Book Fair scheduled for May 1st to 10th, 2026. Held under the high patronage of King Mohammed, the dual events are expected to position Rabat as a leading hub for culture, literature, and the global knowledge industry. Morocco's selection as World Book Capital recognizes Rabat's long-standing cultural heritage, its commitment to education, and the steady growth of its publishing sector. The city currently hosts more than 54 publishing houses and an expanding network of bookstores, strengthening its role in promoting access to knowledge. The Sial Fair, organized by Morocco's Ministry of Youth, Culture and Communication, is considered one of the largest literacy gatherings on the African continent. It forms a central part of the year-long program. In partnership with national stakeholders and UNESCO's bodies, the organizers have planned 342 activities across 12 thematic areas. The initiative seeks to expand access to books by taking reading and literary activities beyond traditional spaces into hospitals, rehabilitation centers, orphanages, and public squares, as well as transport system. This year's edition of Sial will feature 890 exhibitors from 60 countries, including 320 direct and 517 direct participants, showcasing more than 130,000 titles. France has been named the guest of honor, while the event will also celebrate the legacy of Batuta, 14th century Moroccan traveler with a focus on travel literature. Organizers says the fair will host more than 204 cultural events, bringing together 730 thinker writers and creatives to explore issues around reading, culture, and innovation in the creative industries. The World Bank Capital Initiative, led by UNESCO, designates cities committed to promoting books and reading for all age groups through year-long programs. Rabat becomes 26th city to receive titles since its inception in 2001. Previous cities include Accra in 2023 and Rio de Janeiro in 2025, underscoring the program's global reach. The designation is supported by an advisory committee comprising representatives from leading international organizations in publishing, book selling, libraries, and authorship. With a packed calendar of literary and cultural events, Reba Tenia's World Book Capital is expected to drive conversations around literacy, creativity, and access to knowledge across Africa and beyond. And that's it on the morning news update. Do well to log on to all social media platforms at GhanaTalks Radio for more news stories. I am Deborah Adoso. Thank you for tuning in. Good morning.
Are you ready to amplify your business or brand's reach and make a meaningful impact in Ghana and beyond? Partner with Ghana Talks Radio today to connect with a diverse audience across Ghana and beyond. Elevate your brand through on-air promotions and social media. Boost your brand during prime time. With Ghana Talks Radio, you can extend your reach across digital platforms. Ghana Talks Radio is not just a station, it is a community hub where your brand becomes part of the conversation. Join us in fostering connections, celebrating culture, and making a lasting impression. For customized sponsorship packages and enquiries, email contact@GhanaTalksRadio.com or call +233 202 544614. Ghana Talks Radio, giving the youth a voice.
What do you want for breakfast? How do you want your breakfast?
English breakfast, French fries.
Koko Nikosi, alo komi kesheto.
Wache.
Well, Gobe is the real deal. Join us on Ghana Talks Radio. Let's serve you a buffet of breakfast.
From news headlines review, current affairs to social issues.
Entertainment, sports, and all the trending stories live on our mobile app and across all socials from Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m.
With me, Pakwesi Omare,
Regina Bless,
Deborah Adoso,
and I am Esinal Fiagbedu. This is Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Ghana Talks Radio, I wo UK abrochimemu era from Ghana mu ha at the sound system which spinning machine papa every amana ne aba begu oman Ghana mu ha. It is we ye a year, we ye engagement, we ye wedding, we ye birthday party. Political parties are more ye rally, some way sorry more ye crusade. So we'll book carnival or any kind of event. Now we'll pay spinning machine papa a boa sound in the mu at the dia any may come for GTR sounds at the amao. Your live band in so our tones at the frame ya ye beat me ababeboa ama ujumedia woody and so at me I come up. Ya wa enkan pupuni mantemo anya aponchi hotel a hope pepe ena yebutu odi an se wo be frɛ mpanifo ɛwɔ 0546960510 GTR sounds emu de angaza.
Good morning to you once again, and you are welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show right here on Ghana Talks Radio. Remember that we are streaming live on Facebook at Ghana Talks Radio, on X at Ghana Talks Radio, and also on YouTube at Ghana Talks Radio. You are welcome to the second segment of the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And as you know it, we'll be talking about the trending issues and relevant issues that matter to you every morning right here on the morning show. As part of the issues we'll be looking at this morning will be the issue of the OSP and free primary health care policy as well. Joining me right here in the studios is the gallant gentleman, our regular Thursday guest, Mr. Kingsley Akwa, the NPP communications team member, and also Mr. Dubik Ganip Stephen, who is a social commentator. Mr. Kokebium. Good morning, gentlemen, and you're welcome to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Akwa. How are you doing?
By the grace, I'm doing well.
It's good to have you here.
Sure.
Mr. Dubik.
Yes, ma'am.
How are you doing?
I'm good, and you?
You look good. Your shirt is nice.
Thank you.
That's what I said last weekend.
You said last week that what?
Just continue.
What do you want to say? Just
say. Feel free. Say quarter than you do. Quarter than you do me what? They say the all can be a man in your men talk at the mean what I say.
Not intimidate us with the court.
What one you have for us? If you 20 million series for defamation.
Bank of Ghana.
I'm
a citizen of this
country. Makosi na actually
Maboka Bank of Ghana between.
Me the go consider na matwe wa no nti. Ne wa no be ye.
All right, gentlemen, you are welcome once again to the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. Right, before we delve into the main topic for discussion this morning, there was a news yesterday that fuel prices have actually been reduced, and by 2 cedis for diesel and 0.36 for petrol. How do you feel about that, Mr. Dubik?
Well, for the diesel consumers, it is something that would kind of bring down their what do you call it? Their predicament, or the price, the money they have to use to buy diesel. But I think that the petrol consumers is very little per liter, multiplied that by 4.5, which you get the sum they've reduced from the gallon of what do you call it, petrol.
Mm-hmm.
I would have wished that that amount could have been a little bit higher. You said it is 0.36.
Yeah, 0.36
per liter.
Per liter.
So multiply that by what do you call it, 4.5. You get the gallon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I feel that if you to juxtapose it with what was there before, you would say it's insignificant, which I think it is. 0.36 is very, very little.
So they should have increased it to how
well,
much?
I can't tell how much, and I also don't know what went into the decision to reduce it by that figure.
Mm-hmm.
You get it? But if it would have been just even 1 cedi, you understand? At least 1 cedi, what do you call it? Then diesel would have taken 2 cedis. It would have been better. But well, the decision is theirs, and they've looked through the tax on the petroleum product, which is petrol, and then they've decided how much they feel that if they take it off the prices of petrol, it wouldn't crash the revenue generation, and in their opinion, it will elevate the feeling or what petrol consumers go through. But I feel that this is too small.
This is just small.
But for the diesel, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so you think this is not enough relief for the consumer?
It is not.
It is
for,
not.
For 0.36, it is not.
It is not. But you're okay with the diesel?
I'm okay with the diesel, which is 2 cedis per liter.
Per liter.
So if you multiply that by 4.5, you get 9 cedis on a gallon, which is quite a significant amount. If the government wants to give you 9 cedis on a gallon of diesel, it is okay. So if now that we are talking about 9 cedis per gallon on diesel, we should have been talking about let's say maybe 5 cedis decrease in on a gallon of petrol. It wouldn't have been bad, but 0.36, and I can't agree with that one.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Dubik. Mr. Aqua, is there enough relief for the consumer?
Well, thank you very much, and let me take this opportunity and extend my greetings to my party hierarchies from the national region and my constituency as well. And most appreciation goes to my honorable member of parliament, Honorable Frank Anodompre. As at now, he is in the Wenchi, still embarking on the cocoa tour. We know how the government has deliberately reduced the prices of cocoa and other essential commodities in this country, which is affecting Ghanaian farmers. And that is what the member of parliament for Insauma Dredri is much concerned. So he's engaging with farmers in these regions where they grow this kind of products, or what do you call farm products, muchly, so that we can consult them, take their opinion and bring it back to parliament so that parliament can deliberate on. So we commend him on his hard work for the country. Ghanaians are much appreciated how he's leading the country. So again, back to what the government consider it to be price reduction in these fuel and other stuffs. To be honest with you, as my brother the big rightly said, with the 2 cedi reduction on what you call diesel consumers, this is somehow enough to ease some burdens from the drivers and even our market women. And let's look at petrol. The kind of reduction that the government has introduced now to petrol consumers is not enough.
It's not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. 0.36 is not enough. To be honest with you, he added up 1 Ghana cedi. So if you want to cut or if you want to reduce some burdens for Ghanaians, we were expecting that he is going to abolish that 1 cedi levy that he implemented, so that we all know that yes, he said his government, John Dramani Mahama and the NDC government, are not going to be a taxation government.
So you'd have wished the 1 cedi levy should have been abolished,
yes,
not suspended. It should be removed, like totally,
permanently. Because as at now, Ghana, we have crude. We have all these resources here, so we should put up measures, sustainable measures, that is going to ease burdens on Ghanaians. But this 0.36 is not enough. But again, let's look at it this way. They always consider the prices of let's say diesel to be a bit lower, in a way that probably it is going to cushion the prices of goods and services, because these heavy cars go in for these let's say tomatoes, cassava, onion and those things from the port to these are the heavy duty machines or cars that went for these things from the port and other stuff. But again, all these things does not contribute or does not affect Ghana, our pricing of goods and services here, because we knew that, or we know that indeed, if the government is saying that he has reduced the price of, let's say, a fuel by 2 cedi, diesel by 2 cedi, then that also should affect prices of goods and services. But as of now, it is not so. And what the government doesn't know is that those who uses petrol are the people who always cry on the street that I can't afford, transportation to work and other stuff. Yes, because
how do you know that?
Yes, because I'm a driver, and even have been driving for a while, and I know most of these vehicles that convey our people, Ghanaians, to their workplace and other stuff and return them back home safe are petrol consuming vehicles. You get it? So if the government want to ease certain pressures on Ghanaians, then he should consider the prices of fuel, petrol to be specific, not diesel. We understand that diesel also contributes, but with the effort that the government is putting in place to make sure goods, the prices of goods will come down, it's not working. It will not work. Yesterday I was one of your stations and I said it emphatically. It is not going to work because even the government has reduced a diesel price by 2 cedi. Trust me, the price of tomatoes is going to increase.
How is it going to increase?
It is going to increase. How? That is the system we live from Kwame Nkrumah time till now. And one thing that Ghanaians doesn't look at is, Sergeant for Dr. Kwame Nkrumah said something. He said, our beloved country, we are free forever. Yes, indeed, we are free forever. Forward ever, backwards never. So we shouldn't be deceived by any government who will come and promise us that when I come, I'm going to make things better. The price of this will come down. The price of this will come down. No. Ghana is not going to experience that until we have a good leader from a political party like NPP, being Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia. Because Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia knew very well that there is going to be, world crisis in terms of fuel. So then, in his own wisdom, he went ahead to introduce the electric busing system for this country. What is the transport ministry doing? What is the Ministry of Transport doing to make sure that this electric busing system that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia in his own wisdom established for this country, what are they doing to support it? Because I believed very well that if the government were to support the electric busing system, this time that the fuel or prices of fuel is skyrocketing, that is what is going to help this country. Because we all know that the electric bus does not use fuel, non-gas. All what you need to do is that you charge it.
You charge it.
Okay. And that is what is going to help this country. But the government, again, I am saying this, the government should again visit that 0.36%, or is it pesos or something that he has reduced on fuel price being petrol.
Right.
Because it is not helping Ghanaians.
Right.
When I was coming, there was so much queue.
Queue.
Yes. Okay. At various bus stops. Ask yourself why. Why? They are telling us that even the prices of vehicle has reduced. And still when you get to bus stops, there are huge queues. What are the vehicles? That they said they have reduced it for Ghanaians to be able to purchase more. Meaning that all these things are not working. All these things are not reflecting on Ghanaians. So the government should again visit that 0.36 and do something that is meaningful for Ghanaians. And that's what we are looking at.
Okay. In your submission, you mentioned that the energy sector levy should be abolished, as in scrap permanently.
Yes.
What about the debts we have incurred in the energy sector? What happens to that debt? How then do the government actually pays that debt?
What we need to understand that if an institution incurred cost based on poor management, we shouldn't, push that what do we call burden or whatever that's they incurred to the ordinary Ghanaian, to the vulnerables. Okay, the government have so many ways of, paying that debt. And again, we have the clue. We have it. We have it. So can't we do something about it in a way of, let's say, you pay, or the sector can pay on its own by not taxing Ghanaians? I believe so, because we now had say they said Tema Oil Refinery is going to work again. So if the refinery is going to work again, we can now refine our own crude. We buy our own crude here, then we pay our own debts here, rather than imposing those debts on the vulnerable Ghanaians. Because I know nothing about that debt. I did not cause it. Of course, you did not cause it. My brother Dubik did not cause it. So why do you expect him to pay? My brother, will you be happy for you paying a cost that you did not cause it? That is the problem we are facing as a country. So I strongly suggest that the government should abolish that 1 cedi electronics levy imposed on fuel, and it is going to help Ghanaians, right? Because none of us caused those debts in the sector.
Course. We didn't cause those debts. Mr. Dubik, did you cause it, and are you happy paying that?
You see, sometimes I don't understand how these things, or how my brothers communicate like that. Let me read an article on My Joy online. It was published on the May 1st, 2022. Removing taxes on petroleum products means losing 4 billion in revenue. Akufo-Addo. Now let me go and quote. I want to quote the president, the former president. At this time, when we are determined to expand government revenue in order to increase our capacity to finance our own development, can we afford to reduce taxes by 4 billion cedis? He asks advocates for the tax removal.
Why didn't you read an article from President Mahama?
Why didn't you read?
Yes,
you should have read it.
He's now in power.
You see,
read the
come on. You see, sometimes
not the former president.
Come on, when you sit here, and we want to talk, and you say you should read the president, we shouldn't talk about the former president. Apart from Akufo-Addo, apart from former president Akufo-Addo, that who can't hold any official position in MPP government. Everybody who was part of that administration, when Bawumia wins power, whenever, either 2028, 2032, or whenever, those same people would have the opportunity to run this country again. They will hold positions. So what are you telling me not to play your record to you? What do you mean by that? You want to come back to power again. You're not sitting somewhere folding your arms. Oh. You're not the CPP. Oh. Bro, MPP is not CPP. You left office just 2 years ago. Just 2 years ago. So when we come here and we talk, let us talk. Let us bring your record. Of course, I understand you'll be uncomfortable when you play your own records to you. But I'll play it. There's no way I'll come and sit here and you make arguments that I disagree with you, and I'll not pull the record that contradicts the argument you are making. This argument is supposed to tell you that this fuel levy that you people are fixated, remove. No, that same argument was made to Nana Akufo-Addo, and that was his response. And you supported him. You still sit here and praise him. Bawumia was part of that government. You sit here and say Bawumia will bring buses, has brought electric buses. You come here and tell me that electricity cost has gone up. Don't you use that same electricity to charge those electric buses?
But you promised 24-hour economy.
Have I said anything about 24-hour economy? Have I promised you 24 hours economy?
No, but hold on.
The argument we are having is based on the things you are saying. Come on.
The issue that I mentioned, the 24-hour economy that he is saying.
Come on. Would you let me make my argument?
Based on the 24-hour economy. Prices of electricity or tariffs will be down. But look at
what the violence are better.
When the violence the previous government will not help this government, because let's stick to the current government administration. What the current government is doing is what we are talking of. Don't go back to the previous government. It has nothing to do with the ruling of this country. We are talking about John Dramani Mahama's government.
All right, that's fine. Thank you.
So quote this article. Then we move on.
You see, we will use your mistakes. You use your high-handedness to tell the current administration that they shouldn't follow in your path.
That be government.
0.36 pesos is small. I said that here is fat. But just opposing it to Akufo-Addo kind when we asked him to do same, I can confidently tell you say Muhammad Timiate so 1 peso 1 power he's better than Akufo-Addo, because when you made that same argument to Akufo-Addo told us that he wasn't ready to lose 4 billion cedis. And I was saying, remember Mahama record. Now Mahama or when he was in opposition, weren't you guys playing his record on radio and TV all the time? Haven't you ever argued in a way of what do you call it, Airbus? Haven't you ever mentioned Airbus in your conversations? Haven't you ever mentioned the what do you call it, the take or pay contracts? Haven't you ever mentioned them? So you dear, you are at liberty to argue with somebody's record, but when we mention your record, then haywire. What kind of attitude is this? How can this be? What person about you still want to be you still want to win an elections, and your record will make you a winner of those elections. Yeah, better than about records now. Say we'll play them.
You see,
me
the way he's going about his submission, I am always going to interject him. If he doesn't know, if he doesn't know this, you should go and read this. You know, tax and levy reduction from 2017 to 2020. It was which government? It was MPP, right? Should I read it? Should I take his time and read it? That's why I'm saying that you shouldn't go there by quoting the previous government, because we did a lot, you know, in abolishing so many levies in petroleum sector. So if you want me to take his time and mention it, I'll do that. It's not fair to the previous government when he quotes an article by our former president Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. No, because there were so many taxes that we abolished. I can confidently state it. So you should desist from that and question the current government, because it is not what do you call Mohammed's administration that is imposing a lot of cost on us, a lot of taxes on us that we are speaking of. The previous government has come and ruled, and they are gone.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Akwa. Mr. Dubik, I believe we've concluded on that.
I'm not done.
Okay.
He took my time and I kept quiet and left him to talk.
Okay.
Right. But you see, one thing that I always tell my brother is that when I come here, we all come to share our opinions, our views on issues. Then you come here and sit here. No, you see, come on, stop this thing. You come here and sit down. You make all the allegations that you want, all the argument that you want, and go home. Some more time, you people, you can say your radio time. If you want to talk on challenge, if you don't want people to share their opinion, you can buy a radio program and become a Paul Adamochi. Nobody cares. But once they call me here to talk, I will talk.
Okay.
And when you are talking, I'll accord you with the respect. So do same to me. And one I'm okay. Do same for me. So I beg you.
You have 1 minute.
Should I go?
Stay. So the issue of Abayin where I say last time when we had this conversation, I told you that over the years we've not built our capacity to be able to stand shocks when it comes to energy crisis, mankind. So all of a sudden, if you sit here and you argue as if say mobile abamu 50 years ago na mo free abamu kodia, I will not agree with you. Utama mo free abamu ko na fu ene yesen na say yes. Can you confidently tell me say fuel prices today is worse than you left it? Can you confidently say that? You can't. Because fuel prices now is far better than what you left. Even with the levy. So in situations like this, you don't come puffing your chest and making arguments like you are making. No. You come with a calmer tone. Yes, Ramoya Konene Yenimse was so. What they are from Kakra, but in Care, call from Kakra boy in Kaye. That's how you argue in your
in your situation.
I'm burning was.
Because who can na who can when na papa na uja na oko you. It's not like you see the reason why NDC had legs to stand on in and criticize you people. When they were leaving office, fuel prices were lower. Meboa in 2016 when they were leaving, fuel prices was lower than senior mumuja no. CD to dollar was 4 cedis. More at that time or more corner and 16 17. So they you mona mama NDC for nyamo. So don't just come and argue because NDC for criticize them in the past and you want to criticize them to equalize. What are the facts? The fact is that their record today is better than the record you left.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Dubik. We know that fuel prices have actually been reduced to Ghana cedis for diesel and 0.36 for petrol. At this juncture, we are going to be delving into the main issue for discussion. On the issue of OSP, High Court rules OSP cannot independently prosecute cases. The Accra High Court has ruled that the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, does not have the power to independently prosecute criminal cases. According to the court, all cases handled by the OSP must be referred to the Attorney General's Department, which holds the constitutional authority to prosecute corruption cases. The ruling was delivered by Justice John Eugene Nyandu, who explained that while the OSP can investigate corruption cases, it cannot on its own take them to court. The decision is based on Article 88 of the 1992 Constitution, which gives prosecutorial power to the Attorney General. This development has created uncertainty around ongoing cases being handled by the OSP, as they may now be put on hold until further legal direction is given. In response, the OSP has rejected the ruling, arguing that the High Court does not have the authority to declare parts of a law unconstitutional, insisting that only the Supreme Court can do that. The anti-corruption body says it is taking steps to challenge the decision. The ruling also adds to an ongoing case on the Supreme Court, where the broader legality of the OSP prosecutorial powers is already under review. This is between the OSP and AG. Mr. Kingsley, your initial thought of the ruling from the High Court.
Okay. I think the OSP himself has stated clear that the High Court does not have that power.
Jurisdiction.
Yes. And it's clear. You know, we are tired of these judicial intimidations and other security service intimidations that the NDC government-led John Dramani Mahama is being imposing on Ghanaians. And again, let me take this opportunity to say that the kind of intimidation that the NDC government is being, is being forced on Ghanaians. Yes, it's forced. They are forcing all this intimidation on us. Last week, yes, I think, or beginning of this week,
what happened?
They arrested one of our regional communication officer.
So it's actually this week, a day before yesterday.
Yes. You see, and they have reminded him for 2 weeks, I think 3 weeks.
What did he do?
Which is unfair.
What did he do?
For making a Facebook post. That is all.
Mocking the president.
They did worse. And you are entitled to be mocked. I'm entitled to do that. You get it? We have a freedom of speech as a country. We have our own liberties. We have that freedom to speak. This NDC government told Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo that he is a gay president. No, have we forgotten? So back to OSP issue.
Right, thank you.
It's quite clear. Just listen to the name. Special prosecutor. And the court is now telling the special prosecutor that he has no right to prosecute. No, did the court listen to itself? Well, we don't want to find ourselves contempt, though there is a ruling, but we don't want to find ourselves in a contempt position. But the court should reason again on its ruling, because even the name of OSP is Office of the Special Prosecutor, meaning the office has its own authority to prosecute. And having its own authority to prosecute doesn't mean the office is going to set up its own court. Definitely, the prosecution will come before, a judge for you to make ruling. And again, because the NDC government want to impose, certain intimidations through the judiciary on Ghanaians, that is why they are doing that. Because again, the NDC has failed on its mandates and promises they made to Ghanaians in 2024 general election. They staged platforms and said to Ghanaians, to the whole world, that the NPP government then is one corrupt party, that they form up an oral team, that they were coming to what? To prosecute these people or these MPP personnel who are much involved in corruption cases. What has happened to the ORA? What has happened to it? You see, that shows you that clearly the NDC has no, that power and mandate to even speak about corruption cases in this country. They were, saying to themselves that for about 2 years now, or getting to 2 years now, there haven't been any scandals. And God is not a lefty. God, you can never mock God. And just listen to what is happening now. The NDC government has become a government, and what again? Malik Basinteli, we support you, or we believed in you. Excuse my word, I cannot support this guy because
why?
Ghanaians youth believed in him. That so far as he has become the CEO of YE, he's going to make things better. 9 billion Ghana cedis for cultivation of what? Abidru. The Indomie government, you have promised us 24-hour economy, but you are now telling us that we should go and what? Invest in Indomie? No, aren't they ashamed of themselves? And the worst and the least thing that you can do is that, again, trying to, put the OSP in a tight corner by telling him that he doesn't have that right to make prosecutions. It's unfair to the office itself. And I believe that the president has a lot of respect for the office of the special prosecutor. Yes, indeed. The President John Dramani Mahama has a lot of respect. So we should call the judge to order. Indeed, they were trying to, dissolve that office, and President told them no, because you guys, my appointees, you know what you are about to do. You are coming to do. So you want me to, dissolve the office of the special prosecutor so that you can have your way out. I am not going to do that as a president. And for that alone, I respect President John Dramani Mahama a lot on that, based on that decision that he took. But again, they want to, these appointees want to have a way in. Now they want to take the powers from the special prosecutor so that they cannot be dealt with.
But who is actually challenging the OSP now? For
now, Justice Senram Sian or whatever has been the one who was opposing the special prosecutor. Yes, the Deputy Attorney General.
Sremsai.
Yes. He has been the one, always opposing the OSP.
But is he the one challenging?
He's the one.
Are you sure?
Yes, his face was on the news flyer.
And you can really tell that he's the one challenging.
He's the one because this thing is coming from where?
But are you aware that 2 individuals already?
Anyway, so yeah, chat. So anyway, yeah, chat. One have better boosting as I said, I can't watch
But no, let's be fair. No, who is in charge? No, hold on, Mr. Dibi. You see, Who is in charge? Who is in charge now? Now let's be sincere to ourselves. Is that am I aware that 2 people have done what? Have you checked their background?
This case was actually brought by Peter Hyde, who challenged the legal authority of the OSP.
Who is he?
And this
is not an NDC financier.
How will I know?
And that's what I'm saying. Who is he? But with all what I know, Deputy Chief Justice, Senam Sian, whatever it is.
In what I've read,
I've
not seen. From what I have read,
it's
and
not from the Attorney General,
and even from the. But he's not the one.
Who is challenging the OSP's, authority to prosecute now? Who is challenging that?
Is the Attorney General, but not
so
the deputy.
So who is he?
I don't think the Deputy Attorney General has even had any word to actually.
So many times.
Have you seen that he has been questioning any of?
He has. So many times. No. He has.
Please, I beg you.
Let's go into the news very well. If you don't have any ideas or let's say knowledge about it, or
I don't think it's fair for you to say.
It's fair
because based on what we have and based on what we have read and even heard from the interview so far, we've not even heard from the Deputy Attorney General.
You see, I'm quiet because I'm wondering why you are saying that. This thing or Deputy Chief, what do you call? This man has been the one always opposing the office of the special prosecutor.
Right. Since you said you have it, do you mind sharing with me?
Okay. So I'll share with you. Okay. I'll take your number from the producers and
you already have my number. Actually.
Yes. Why are you saying this?
I want you to share.
Okay. So you know what? These people are the very people who are challenging the office of the special prosecutor because they knew very well. They knew that what they said about the previous government MPP, they are doing it worse. So now they fear prosecution. Right. So if that is the case, they are taking that prosecution power from the office of the special prosecutor so that they can massage, cases at the various courts. And that is what they are doing. Don't trust the NDC because even they have not been able to even implement one campaign promise that they mentioned to Ghanaians. So why do you have to trust this government? Why do you have to? And yes, I've been saying that Deputy Attorney General has been the one opposing the office of the special prosecutor, even opposing his own boss. These things came into the news. All of us, we read it. Ghanaians read it. Ghanaians heard it. And then they know, the NDC themselves know what I'm talking about. This Deputy Attorney General has been the one opposing things that would go against them in terms of corruption in the NDC government.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Kensley. Mr. Dubig, what do you make of the ruling of the High Court on the issue of the OSP?
See, when was the OSP Act passed again?
Come again?
When was the OSP Act passed? I need somebody to remind me.
2017.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Kinsley, I beg you, give me enough time to do this. Okay, no interjections. I beg you. Let's read Article 88 of the Ghanaian Constitution. Okay. It gives Attorney General the power to do everything. The most important part of that Article 88 to this argument will be the Section 3, Article 88, Section 3. The Attorney General shall in law is mandatory, shall be responsible for the initiation and the conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offenses. All shall. Let's go to the OSP Act. Mm-hmm. They have something called the long note. That is the summary of the act.
Yeah.
The summary of the act. If you open the article, it is the header, like beneath the header. An act. Okay, the office of the Special Prosecutor Act. Okay, Act 2017. An act to establish the office of the Special Prosecutor is as a specialized agency to investigate specific cases of alleged or suspected corruption and corruption-related offences involving public officials and politically exposed persons in performance of their functions, as well as persons in the private sector involved in commission of alleged or suspected corruption and corrupt-related offences. Prosecute these offences on the authority of
the Attorney General
and provide
for related matters.
So what is the issue? What is the issue? We were lazy. We were lazy in passing and in implementing this act. Do you know how we would have avoided this? We could have done an amendment, a constitutional review, and amended the Article 88 of the Constitution. This act doesn't supersede the act, that article in the Constitution. But we were lazy. We chose the lazy man approach by saying that now the Attorney General should authorize it. If you ask me to authorize something, what are you saying? Am I not still in control of that thing? So how does he become independent? How? By what I just read, by the two provisions I just read under the law. How is the special prosecutor independent from the Attorney General? You say Attorney General the bet me abo bia kwaduna ko gina mra no. And yes I say special prosecutor no person obi ko gina mra na no a onkwaje tumi krata free Attorney General ho. You see, I heard him say that the cases are NDC people championing it. Hey, Asemba ahu ya ye mu hwehwe mu ye wate. Eye obi a OSP ndi ni gina court. And ade asem no court o. And was say, sir, authorization na OSP ni here answer. Wetimi abonu do before he prosecute him, he doesn't have the authorization. So what the High Court did was to ask the OSP, where is the authorization? Show it to me.
That's all.
If the police arrest you driving without a license, no say we need license from do kojina court. And once it is in the law that you don't have to drive without a license, the only thing the court will ask you is, do you have a license? If you have a license, show it. If you don't have a license, you are guilty. And no. That's all the court did. Court now interpret the constitution, no, or my interpretation. The only thing they asked the OSP to do in this case was to provide the authorization, the constitution, and the act that establishes the OSP office asked them to do, which they failed to do. What you say? You see what this thing does? What this thing does is that all the cases are OSP not prosecuting. It is in jeopardy now. I'm not oblivious to the fact that the Supreme the High Court decision is not binding on all High Court. But what this thing will do is that say me and the OSP be chemisa my bonnet or the make court. When I go to the court, I'll just prompt the judge to this ruling. What you say? And the judge will be mindful to that ruling. The judge can even agree to this. And the Akwadufo or mining in Akwadufo we were so eager to fulfill a campaign promise that say kasi amend the constitution now check. And let's find a shorter route to circumvent the right processes. And a year when you better. Haven't I said this in this same studio? Say OSP no in the office no is still under the Attorney General. Makana several times. Makasa say OSP no prosecute two cases. Chief Justice per the laws I was say the Attorney General can just file a null prosequa. I'm telling you this for a fact, and based on this, you'll be right to do it. And the OSP office now one just say independent, a scam. It is not independent. OSP Ghana Police Service difference between your moon. The only difference between the Ghana Police Service and the OSP is that for the Ghana Police Service they have an EI, a executive instrument that gives them the authority. And the near was say abandoned than in your mobile yarn say one more day executive instrument echo court echo parliament echo passe na Emma OSP no the authority to prosecute and no nya fe na
case by case, over authority. No. Once the EI is in place, you have the authority to prosecute.
So that is the solution to.
That is the solution to the problem right now. But what that does is that even said ne, yeah, the EI ne manwa. What it means is that what say yeah share cases ni nyina ase foforo. Okay, let's go to the what do you call it? The OSP Act 4. Section 4. 2 no. Okay.
So subject to clause 4 of Article 88 of the Constitution, the office shall for the purposes of this act be authorized by the Attorney General
to initiate
and conduct the prosecution of corruption.
To initiate in the whole here. To do what?
To initiate.
It means to begin. And you want to mean case na say mvinfi na fe na akwaje authorization. You must have the authorization even before you initiate the process of prosecution.
So he has to work alongside
of course
the Attorney General.
You can't we anamo the adane politics. And obi person or ye. Mo ye mrafun we. Mo ye mrafun we in 2017.
Language please.
Because you see, the money we've wasted on the OSP over 9 years. We've wasted money on the OSP for 9 years. How many cases were prosecuted successfully? Huh? I didn't Boating case. Since 2017, it's a 2018. Akwana no contract for sale no. Sasam Muswa in court. It has been in court for 8 to 6 years. It's still in court. Now because the way I'm rafun our language, I can't sugarcoat these things because taxes now better than hasu who say entities or no. Yeah, just our taxes now. So I never we are nekum. Where's been yamfa taxes in Pianaka? Yamfa taxes ni bin to OSP car. Me, I won't digress. I won't digress. What do I can be do 1 million times? Yes, when I had the topical issue, so this is what I'm going to discuss.
A special prosecutor car.
Yeah, the big a special prosecutor car. His office, the expenses are all catered for because of this act. Yeah, we were lazy in doing this thing. We were lazy. Say about you can't say a regions money. We were able to do what do you call it, a referendum. And then get it done.
Right.
But when we want the most important thing, the referendum, and the far you couldn't answer when you used like what do you call it, a shorter route to achieve something that doesn't even help or benefit anybody. Hey. And you people want to make it NDC MPP again. You people want to make it MPP NDC again after doing this thing. MPP people were in parliament, NDC people were in parliament. I dare me yapa was as we know to say NDC for Tanaho and didn't challenge this thing and just allowed it pass. Because at that time, do you know why they didn't challenge it?
You should be wrapping up, please.
Okay, I'm wrapping up. Do you know why they didn't challenge it? They didn't challenge it because before the MPP came to government, they accused NDC of corruption, right? So they thought that if they stand in the way of the establishment of the special prosecutor, people will see them, and people will say they are corrupt. Yeah. That's why they don't want them to prosecute it. And I'm the phone with the better was say, and I am from Mugana.
Mr. The big, your language, please. Thank you so much, Mr. Kingsley. What impact does this actually have on Ghana's fight against corruption? Because it looks like the cases that he has already tackled or executed. I say it makes it.
You know, the whole impact is that the NDC has failed.
How is
they has failed?
How has the NDC failed?
Because now the fear is that
does it include the cases that the OSPA has actually executed since the previous administration?
That is what they are trying to say. That is what the NDC is trying to say.
But it was your government that established the OSP. So how has the NDC actually got to
you know what? One way or the other, there are so many. I'm using so many NDC people who are involved in most corruption cases in this country. And are you aware that is it an advisor to the president or whatever? The OSP, you see, they are doing this. You know, we should, Mr. Dubik, you should bear with me that we tell the Ghanaians, you know, the real truth. Are you aware that special aid to the president is involved in this gold fraud scandal that the OSP has declared him wanted.
Who is that? Do you have his name?
I'll check the name for you. Yes, and I'm saying, listen, people think when I come here, I speak the truth, nothing but the truth. This man, special aid to the president, the OSP. When you Google it, you get it now.
Special aid to the
president. That the special prosecutor has declared him wanted in gold fraud case. See, this man, the OSP has declared him wanted in a gold fraud case. Sammy Denfi and co. They've shared the gold money, and they thinking say because the man is a special aid to the president, it will not end well. And that is what we are seeing. So the NDC is trying all means to cover up their corruption cases by taking that prosecution power from the OSP so that they can massage cases, corruption cases, being affiliated to the NDC. And that is what they are doing.
So you think all of these things are actually going on because the NPP want to...
The NDC, yes,
doesn't want to be caught in corruption
That
cases.
is it.
Do you have anything?
Because they are now aware that their dirty clothes are out there. The NDC are aware now through the establishment of the the special prosecutor's office. Their dirty clothes are out there. There are certain things that Ghanaians need to know. My brother, the big was saying that they use taxpayers' money to pay the office of the special prosecutor. Yes, indeed, we believe that it is taxpayers' money that pays him. But it that same taxpayers' money that this Malik Basintali has used 9 billion Ghana cedis to plant Abedru.
Mr. Kingsley, you've been making this statement and I've not seen anything of that on the internet. Do you mind providing any?
You've not seen that there is a document that affirms that Malik Basinteli, the CEO of what? YEA, uses 90 billion for Abedru cultivation. You've not seen that. You've not been fair to Ghanaians. I'm sorry. Yes. That he himself have come out to debunk this. You said you've not heard it.
He debunking is this different.
Where are we heading to? Where are we heading to as a country? The media is the mouthpiece of the country.
But he debunking it is different from you making the assertion that he has used 9
It is in their own document, not my document.
I just hope you'll be able to provide it.
You know what? It is in their own documents.
Okay.
That is how I've been saying. Always when NDC come into power, they always try to shut the media. They always try to intimidate people. And for we, the minority, are not going to sit down. They shouldn't forget that we are the mighty minority in parliament, and we are going to force them to admit to facts that they couldn't, work towards it. Because we all know that I have 1 minute, I understand. We all know that they promised Ghanaians 24-hour economy, that they said we can just stood on the podium and told Ghanaians that through the 24-hour economy we are going to have a low electricity tariff pricing. But now electricity tariff is skyrocketing, and things are getting worse. Things are getting out of hand. Now they are telling us that the 24-hour economy that they promised us, we should go and venture into Indomie selling. That's one of the things that Ghanaian, the youth of this country, don't even understand and cannot understand this government.
Right.
You promise that you are coming to give jobs to the people. Now, over 70,000 teachers are home, and now you are recruiting only 7,000. Are you doing good to this country? Not to mention teachers alone, nurses are also home. How many of them? How many of them are you giving them job? We should speak for the people. We should speak for the vulnerable. We should speak for those who don't have the opportunity to sit on TV, to sit on radio, to discuss their issues.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Kingsley. Mr. Dubik, what impact does this case actually have on Ghana against the fight against corruption?
Well, It has a lot of impact. I'll not sit here and then be oblivious to the fact that this thing is not going to impact us. I just sorry. In my earlier submission, I said that now if I were to be the one, if the OSP charges me to court or anything, the only thing I'll have to do is go to court and tell the court that based on this ruling, I know it's not binding with you, but consider this. And if I get a judge who thinks alike, like the person who gave that ruling, it is likely I'm going to get the same outcome. You understand? I see this issue has gone beyond politics. So, this issue has gone beyond politics. It is a systemic flaw, and both NDC and MPP are to blame for it. You get it?
Yeah.
So I clench when I see anybody trying to turn this into a NDC NPP affair, because we're in a NDC NPP affair. You get it? When we started the OSP office, the main aim was to fight corruption. And based on that, we gave them a flawed law to work with. How do we fight it with a flawed law? Corruption. So how do we fight corruption based on that flawed law? So this thing, we have to go back to the drawing table as a country, not as political parties or political actors. Look at a sustainable way of remedying this. Now there's a leg of the case in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
If Supreme Court doesn't quash this ruling, if it doesn't say contrary to this ruling, now we won't enforce this ruling. What it means is that the OSP office is gone.
Scrap.
Niebeka with the OSP near the power to investigate, but the power to prosecute will still be with the Attorney General. No, take a crime on.
Right. But even with that, is it fair for the power to be with the Attorney General? Will he be independent in prosecuting, his own people?
You see, Ghana had a nimere, and a Bibiani they are done MPP NDC. Nanka, your duty as Attorney General is not to your political party. When I read the what do you call it, the Article 80, did you see a mention of a political party there?
No.
The duty of the Attorney General is to the people of Ghana. But Ghana no, ya ye bibia NDC ni MPP. Ena ye nyachum ye mpenokre. We cannot look in the face of our brothers to tell them the truth. So issues like this, you say, oh, I sit in cabinet with him. Oh, I do this with him. He even came in my constituency and helped me campaign, so I cannot prosecute him. Hey, go and read the story of Singapore. The president's best man was accused of corruption. Accused. The president ordered an investigation and prosecution. When he couldn't stand it, he hanged himself. And compare Singapore, the progress, the development of Singapore to the progress and development of Ghana. Your independence there. Our mindset is dark. The mindset we live in this country with, whether politicians, whether ordinary citizens, whether political actors like Kingsley and I, our mindset is dark. It is bad. And regardless of who we make Attorney General, we will still come back to these issues and say the Attorney General is bad. So if the Attorney General is prosecuting me, my relative will say, oh, because he doesn't speak for government, he didn't prosecute, When he's prosecuting Kingsley's relative will say the same thing. So what do you want? Do you want prosecutions or not? He sat here and then started with the argument of that, what do you call it? The Bono communication something. You see, the fact that you didn't prosecute people doesn't make his issue not a crime. It's a choice that your government decided not to prosecute. That's why that's why what do you call it? Attorney Generals can file nolly prosequa. So if I commit a crime and Dominica Yini
decide to file a nolle prosequi today, when Odame comes in 2032 or 2028, 2029, he can decide to prosecute me. That doesn't make me like absorb me from the crime. You decided not to prosecute it. You. And that is what has emboldened people today. Today you are talking about Sam George, who sat on who tagged Akufo-Addo a gay president. There were pictures of President Mahama lying down with a group of friends. Have you seen that picture before? Like they were sitting on like in a sofa or something. These MPP people said one of them is gay. So for that reason, President Mahama is gay. I've been doing this thing for a long time. I've been following politics since 2004. And in 2016, 2015, we know what you people did. So today, don't sit here and play Pontius Pilate and make it look like what they want some who ninke can what be a propaganda that will be who FIFA president. You people started by saying that President Mahama had buildings in Tokyo, he had ship in Tokyo, he had buildings in Japan, Dubai, and all that. Were they true? One the year 2023 and the about power 2024. You can't let it go. You people are the same. Like when it comes to propaganda, you don't care about the integrity of other people. And I can't have a what can be do bear 5 million times. But you see, the issue of that abedro is that what we have to do, if it is true that that amount has been committed in planting, is to see if the thing has been planted. Alan Cheramantin took Ghanaian money to plant cassava. We never saw that cassava in Kufuor's era. And this is what Tanaha, ya munya me say what Tanaha, ya munya but Tanaha, ya mamon Kasata say near MPP, a political saint, Phoebe and your. You get it? If there are issues, let's find the issues and credit. Don't just look on the document because they did 900 million a year with a money. Have they done it? Have they done it? Have you gone there to see Zomaya and Asomaya? You see, me, I don't even have much information to assembly about Sabine. I would have wait. I would have wait say you show us what do you call it? Disbursement of funds. You get it? Say disbursement funds na nipa na yeso onko dua bedru no. Okoy no wa nua bedru no wa diska no. E ho na asem no wo. What you say? Say me na me laptop. Na ma catch your laptop near 15 million cedis. Na wuntinya say we jai. Me boa. Say me share. Na wo to there, what say me deliver laptop no. Obi antimi kan chamse laptop no boarding because what do you call it? 15 million. One also bet me aton and beton no sama. So these issues some more better as political actors na mo kan. Yeah, mon canon like with fact and yet based on emotion propaganda say assume see ye bi ntinenso ye nya na yenso ye ne bi.
Right. Mr. Dubik, is it fair for the OSP to challenge the ruling of the High Court?
What is he challenging? What is he challenging? Yes, he would need license to drive. Do you have the license or authorization now on Vankoi?
But he also mentioned that the High Court doesn't have jurisdiction over that.
Jurisdiction to do what? The High Court didn't interpret the Constitution. The High Court didn't even interpret this act. Nipana Okobo Ukwadunu, the person who took you to court, said that you don't have authorization from the Attorney General to prosecute the case. Do you have it or not? And it appeared that you didn't have the authorization. So, when your authorization now, does he have the authorization now?
You see, the hypocrisy.
Mr. Akwa, let him land, then you come in.
Does he have the authorization now? He doesn't. I just read the act to you. Subject to clause 4 of the Article 88 of the Constitution, the office shall, for the purposes of this act, be authorized by the Attorney General to initiate and conduct the prosecution of corruption and corrupt related offenses. Shall. Do you have it? Yeah, chill. Yes, you need driving license. You do what you know court on one to me a new driving license actually. And you prosecute you. Yeah, sentence you. What's it make qua appeal? Who qua appeal now? Who driving license? Oh. Do you have it? Does he have authorization from the Attorney General? Where is it? You said yes, show us.
Because they need to work together. The Attorney General.
Are they working together on the case?
The Attorney General shouldn't sit down and say someone should take the OSP to court.
Okay, Manaka, let him talk.
You see, the hypocrisy of the NDC is becoming something different in this country. We were here last year. President Mahama said, the personnel involved in the NSS scandals should be declared wanted. He said that. But here lies the case that someone who is part of the NDC's Council of States, I think from the Volta region, also was involved in some scandals and abuse of power, that the authorities raised concern that they should demote him from his post. And again, Iyoko declared that person wanted. And High Court again ordered Iyoko not to declare him wanted. That is the hypocrisy of the NDC. I'm saying this. My brother was mentioning a whole lot of, allegations. Don't forget that we were here. The Asantaba deal, the Ejapa deal, all these things happened in this country. We were here when the president, now President John Dramani Mahama, told us that Guinea fowls has fled to Burkina Faso. No, but as a country, are we doing good to ourselves? And this same person today is in power. And look at the way he is governing the country. No. Is President Mahama a tyrant that when he says something, he doesn't want anybody to also say contrary? We can't do this as citizens, and we can't do this as a country. We should make sure that each and everyone who needs to face the law will face the law. Each and everyone needs to be dealt with. Me, when someone is being caught in the act of corruption, and they say the person is corrupt and is being taken to court, I don't have any issues with it. And we shouldn't forget that it is only the courts that will determine that yes, indeed, this person is corrupt or not. But what are we doing? What are we doing, President Mahama? What are we doing? What are you even doing to the country, the indigents of this country? What are you doing to us? Ghanaians trusted you. That is, yes, indeed, when you come into power, you are coming to what? Prosecute people who are involved in corruption cases, corruption scandals. Now, because you are part of it, you cannot prosecute. Because your officials are part of it, you cannot prosecute. You are going to court to quash certain decisions from the OSP. No, it is unfair. It's unfair. When did the Attorney General realize, say, the OSP doesn't have that prosecution right? No, my dear, we should face the fact. When did the Attorney General realize that the OSP doesn't have the prosecution right? That today, High Court is saying that the OSP doesn't have that prosecution right. No, we can't do this to ourselves. If you want the well-being of this country, when it is red, we should say it is red. When it is white, we should say it is white. It is right. Ain't woman can no crunchra ye as o man. Na ye nyai say ye nneoma bi adango da dre we na ye dia ye beka enye we na ye dia ye nka no. Anya sa o man no enye yi. But the ba kwa say hye no so no say we should be very mindful that President John Dramani Mahama President John Dramani Mahama ono dia wo pension. So whatever that President John Dramani Mahama is doing now, no, it is not going to affect him tomorrow and even today, because he is going on pension. Whatever that is going to happen in the next years, he doesn't even care. It was said no Mr. the big enemy near Bebre, and that's our problem.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Kingsley. Mr. The Big, 1 minute, your last comment on this particular issue.
You see,
before we move,
NPP cannot be absorbed of blame for everything that is happening to the OSP today. him for na yemra no emra na ne obi agina so e de akọ attorney general ho e de akọ court ama court aka say OSP no be prosecute obi a ohia authorization every attorney him for na ye mo MPP for na mo yemra mo abra so na yemra no and this atam and nyansa mo nya na mo de kan sanse mo no satam na nyansa no wo hen na man fa nhemra no adwen na na mo nya mo de na president Mahama person wo say ade no president Mahama person yin na sa adwen na wo hen where was it and na man fa nhemra why didn't you make that sense part of the law to make sure that regardless of whoever is president they cannot manipulate the OSP that sense na wo hen fa and na make na mo ye akwadro you people were lazy. And instead of doing a constitutional amendment to remedy the situation, to make sure that it is ironclad, mo bien de mi van zanka no mo anya ne sa na mo dem kokwasa de na mi fichire sa na mo de bewie hai ene ne ene right but mo betena ha mo pe akonwa aban mu abaniti you try to influence the people who are not educated about this act but me betena me kan act no Kingsley Timin Tana Hanka say act no baby entro. And I say me kofa act with the ababe counter act. One Timin can be meaning said what I'm saying is the truth. What he's interested in is the political part of the issue, not the real issues. And I cannot agree with him when it comes to these issues. Right. When he debates like this, I cannot agree with him.
Right. And you cannot bear with him either.
Yes.
You see what my brother is saying.
Interesting days ahead. Let's read some comments.
Why you gave him 1 minute?
You even had like 6 minutes. Oh, don't do that. Let's read some comments on Facebook. This is from Nana Kojo Buahin. I don't know why people still trust NDC and John Dramani Mahama. The new patriotic party achieved significant milestones in Ghana's cocoa sector before handing over to the National Democratic Congress in 2025. Our farmers and traders deserve better. Every sector under NDC government are crying. Teachers, nurses, farmers, traders, railway workers, students, and children yet unborn are even afraid to come out. Good morning, Kingsley. Keep doing the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sing. All right. Moving on to our second topic for discussion. This is the free primary healthcare policy to remove cost barriers. So government has announced a new policy to make basic healthcare services free for all Ghanaians at the primary level. Mr. Dubik, is it free health though? Free primary health care. And this is expected to expand NHIS. Not to expand it and also complement it, but not to replace NHIS. What is your initial thoughts on this particular policy?
You see, it is a good policy. No two ways about it. It is a very good policy. Very, very good policy. You see, I was born in a typical village, a cottage, and that one, a crab akope, and an ametiasi. I always say this. When my mother was to deliver me, she delivered herself. Nobody there. Imagine if we had that policy which had taken healthcare to the doorsteps of people like that. Bear in mind that my mother was lucky to have survived delivering herself, but there are women who have died through that. So if we had that policy where there's health centers in all those villages where it is just a stone throw from your house to the place, it would have been easy. There's a kid in my village today. When I see the kid, I call her my abobuano. Now my abobuano means my doorstep in P. Okay. So the reason why I call her that way is that when her mother was in labor, her father had a motorbike, conveyed her wife on that motorbike, tried to ride to the nearest town for her to be delivered. But when they got to
our junction where my father's house was, the woman couldn't proceed again because the baby was just coming. So they came, knocked at my father's door. My father had to deliver the baby. No, because of experience. My father is not a doctor, but my father was a very experienced. He had a hands-on experience in these kind of things. Yes, because my mother has 8 children, so you can imagine the experience my father had.
My father has delivered for long.
Yes,
8 children.
8 children. So when I see the kid, I call her my abobuano. She was lucky to have survived. There are other people who weren't. And then the other part of the whole policy that makes me happy is that, you see, in the villages, you can say, oh, and run as much, you know, it's in the and yakeko, and okoda and I'm sorry. Sometimes, and yes, when your hospital and come for the tia, the end but so bet you can put your free in a crew and I say, I could do hospital, and so you health insurance. At the amount is an issue. The free health, primary health policy is not just by say they are going to make provisions, send health centers to the doorsteps of these people or of people who may be deprived of those kind of services. So I think that in all, it is a good policy. I always say this: policies will come. They will have their own flaws, but as you are implementing it, you see the flaws and you adjust it. And I expect these policies to also have their flaws. But what I'm hoping for is that it benefits the larger society in Ghana, since most areas in Ghana are not accessible by these bigger hospitals. Even if I say ambulance, ambulance, but if they have a health practitioner, they have a CHIP compound in that village or a health center in that village, it will help alleviate some of these issues that we are confronted with daily when it comes to health.
Okay, Mr. Kingsley, do you think it's achievable?
Somehow. And,
why don't you have faith in it?
Because I don't trust this government.
That's fine.
Yes. And you know what my brother the Big said, you shouldn't forget all what he said. The history he spoke of happened in the NDC regime. True or false?
Do you know when I was born?
I know.
When was
looking at you and your age?
When was I born?
I know.
I'm not a 90s child though.
So
don't be confused. I'm not a 90s person.
So can you tell us all these things happens in the NDC regime? True or false?
NDC became a political party in 1992. So what are you talking about?
Why are you doing this to ourselves?
What are you talking about?
You know he fails to admit, and that's my problem with him. Okay, so again.
Yeah, now his father.
Because I know Lawrence came and ruled this country 21 years and over.
Lawrence is not the NDC. Don't be intellectually dishonest. Don't be intellectually dishonest. You see,
let me have my.
I have your time. I'll interject. The time.
You see, come back. How can we deliver this free primary health care to our doorsteps whilst the government has failed us on their promise of building 600 CHIP compounds? They fail. So where are they going to deliver the services? Are they going to sit under shelters? Are they going to sit on canoes? No, they can't deceive Ghanaians this way. The free primary health care that the government is talking about, the people, the personnel, the nurses, the doctors will need structures, will need buildings, will need facilities to work in, isn't it? Let's ask the NDC government, since they came into power, common CHIP compounds, how many have they built? And let's consider that to the previous government. The NDC in 2024 general election, they promised Ghanaians that they are coming to build 600 CHIP compound. Getting to 2 years, they have not even started one. And you are here telling us that you are implementing free primary health care, which is going to help us, deal with certain issues that my brother experienced some years back. And it's very bad and it's very painful to, Ghanaians. When you meet people who are in labor, you feel for them. My brother has witnessed a lot, as he's been saying. Previously, even road networks were a problem to some of the cheap compound that these are women who go there to seek for health care. But when the MPP came into power, we saw that no, even some of the areas that does not even have road networks, and we did that by making sure their roads were being contracted and they worked on. This government has failed, and all what we know is about changing, rebranding, and other stuffs. Let's ask ourselves that what is happening today. NHIE.
NHISOA.
Yeah, the A is authority. The authority itself. Yeah. What is happening to the authority?
What's happening?
Because now it is not functioning. It's not working. When you have the card and you visit hospital, they will tell you, say, you are not going to be careful. No, but no. Is this the NHIS that President John Ejekun Kufuor implemented? That during that time, it was working perfectly. Perfectly. What is happening now? You came and put everything in jeopardize. You squandered the money, and now you are telling us that you are diverting the NHIA funds to free primary health care. Whilst we don't even see the necessity of that free primary health care that the president is talking about.
You don't think it's necessary?
It's not. Because all these things that they mention in the free primary health care are already cared for in the NHIA policies. All these things, all what is left is that the government should be focused and build additional cheap compounds to accommodate people. Because the NPP, the previous government, did a lot by building a lot of cheap compound in the various communities. And they cannot say no to that. Ghanaians can attest to the fact that in terms of healthcare, logistics, the NPP did very, 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 very well than this current government. So what are they telling us? What are they telling us? We were able to make sure we supply every constituency with ambulance.
Should be wrapping up.
And it's formed part of healthcare. Okay, the ambulance was full equipped with all the necessary equipment that one may need even to deliver a pregnancy woman. Mm-hmm. So the president should come and tell us, and the health minister Honorable Akando, come and tell us what you are doing to support the initiative that we are bringing on board. All what they are coming to do is to divert funds and chop. That's what I can say. And yes, if the minister is here, I will say it to his face that, Honorable Minister, there is nothing different, there is nothing new that you are embarking on, rather to divert funds. And that's what we know.
Right.
We know the NDC to be doing that.
Thank you, Mr. Kingsley. Mr. Dubig, is this in a way going to weaken healthcare delivery?
How? How will this weaken the healthcare delivery? I don't see how this is going to weaken the healthcare delivery. I'm struggling to see it.
Don't you think that there will be too much pressure on the nurses and then the doctors as well?
But we have nurses sitting at home. We should employ them.
Yes,
put them
but
to work.
we have enough infrastructure, because I believe it's because we don't have infrastructure. That is why some of these nurses haven't been posted yet.
It is the policy of government to build cheap compounds in rural communities and post them. Mm-hmm. So it is systematic. This thing will happen, and that thing will happen, and that thing will happen. That's the reason why I said policies would come, we will shape them, and as we are going forward, we are ironing out the issues of the policy. My brother always turns everything to MPP NDC. He turns everything to MPP NDC. I don't get it.
He turns everything to NPP, NDC, and NDC want to do this. And you see, you people capped NHIS. You capped the funds. What they capped also say, you get 10 billion, I remember 2 billion, you have 8 billion now, kind of more. Now, you. There was a cap on it.
You put on the lens.
So what were you doing? What were you doing with that funds? If you think that this funds is going, NHIS is going, the some funds is going to primary health care, and you are pissed about, you don't understand, you don't trust the government. You capped it. You put a cap and only get fund. You're not cap that. So.
We use it for
what did you use that money for?
The purposes.
Purposes buying our capi. Me catch us in Bedina had the tour. Now me the air coin. Now me the 20 Vietnam say, oh, 2 na magic, you know. A 20% pen am the bear coin. Nyakano, men can you made the intro me yen a day. You see, me, I always say this. I have been in this space for a very long time. For a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. And I'll never be hypocritical about these kind of issues. Say, men and come a Kasama MPP. Because I'm a tenacity. Now me share what I have done, what my own political party did in the past. It won't even give me the moral justification to communicate this way. Because you capped it at a point in time, there were areas for 12 months in this country from the period of 2000, I think 2023. They were in areas. I'm struggling to find the year, but I'll find it for you. NHIS was in areas for over 12 months in this country. That issue even became topical in Parliament.
And what happened?
12 months.
We paid them.
And now we will say we'll be the cut 3 months into a good NHIS. Now what now the cut 12 months now? One nekada. Now one cut 12 months. We are quite bad on our fast. What the time the NHIS is a. Is it the kind of communication that you people do? That is why me, for the rest, I can never agree with this kind of communications. You get it? I can never agree with this kind of communication. Okay? Say me say, oh, Kingsley Abomasum. Na enra me bo Kingsley Asuma. What am I? Am I not a hypocrite? I slapped Kingsley yesterday, but today, Kingsley slapped me today, and I come and then sit here and say, oh, Kingsley has slapped me. Why will he slap me? Why? I'm a hypocrite.
Then tell the NDC government they stood against LGBTQ+.
Oh.
What are they doing now? I don't know hypocrites. No, man, I just want him to speak to facts. I don't know hypocrites.
Yo.
You stood. I'm coming. You stood for it. You stood for LGBTQ. Today you are against it.
Indeed.
You see the lack of principle. You see the lack of principle. You
reverend ministers, they were saying, oh no, the President Akufo-Addo should sign it. Now they are all backing Mahama that yes.
What should Mahama sign? We've had this argument. What should Mahama sign?
We have.
What is Mahama signing? What?
Hypocrisy of
what? NDC. Is that something Mahama should sign?
It's on the lawn.
Where is it? Akufo-Addo had it and didn't sign. Mahama don't have it. Most of us unsigned it about it.
But he said,
what should Mahama sign? I'm asking, what should Mahama sign? He said that if the bill is presented to him, he will assent it. Where should Mahama sign?
Time because I have my last message.
Yeah, Paul.
Right, we have a comment on YouTube, and this is from Kojo. You cannot tell him what to say. Relax, Mr. NPP. Relax, Mr. NPP. That is from Kojo to you.
Mr. Kojo, I've heard
you cannot tell him to bear with you, and you cannot tell him what to say. So he said you should relax,
okay,
Mr. NPP.
Mr. NPP.
This has been a very interesting conversation right here on the GhanaTalks Breakfast Show. We had fun. But before we leave, your last words, gentlemen.
Yes, it's very necessary because NPP, we are in our electioneering year and we are going for contests and other stuff. So we have SOS, Samuel Osei for Eastern Regional Youth, and also Honorable Wahab for Eastern Regional Organizer, hopefully. And these are the people, the very people who have worked, hardly for the party that we all believed. And for Insalmad Regime people, the competent people that we are going to vote for. So we will plead of all the delegates the police station executives. When the time is up, you guys should vote for Honorable Asante Kunedu for chairman, Homburger, second vice, and other people who are part of it. So much appreciation also goes to my regional and national executives who has given me the opportunity to serve the party. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Aqua. Mr. Ganib.
Yes, ma'am.
Extend your greetings to your wife. She has been listening.
I don't do greetings on radio.
Oh, okay.
Yes, if I want to greet somebody, I'll call the person and say hello. We can build this country if we want to. If we put aside our political differences and come together, we can make it work. That is what I'm hoping for, that going forward, the political actors like Kingsley, myself, and the folks from the NDC would put their political leanings aside and put the country first. That's what I'm hoping for.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ganib, and thank you to Mr. Aqua for joining us on the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. And thank you too for your comments, and thank you, lovely listeners and viewers, for sticking with us. This is where we draw the curtains for the Ghana Talks Breakfast Show. We'll be meeting same time tomorrow. Do have a lovely day.
Yes, sir.